Hello to the 9 people who are here. It seems that I've made a few mistakes, because that happens from time to time. So if you all give me just a moment, I'm going to restart this, and hopefully everything will actually function as it's supposed to. Please give me just a few moments. Hello to the 9 people who are here. It seems that I've made a Alright, let's see how this works. Hello, this is going to be a test of streaming for everybody who is here. We're not going to do anything too exciting, so don't worry if you're watching this archived, or even if you're here live. If you're here live and you're like, I've got better things to do with my time right now, get out of here. We're not doing anything exciting today. This is mostly going to be me figuring out how all this works, because not an expert, haven't done this before. From a purely technical standpoint, I have done this once. I did it earlier today at 3 o'clock, 2:30 or so in the morning, just to see what it would be like. Just to run some basic tests. I stayed up until like midnight. What am I talking about? I stayed up until technically 4 o'clock in the morning, But I worked for about 4 or 5 hours just to get all of this set up, just figuring out OBS and YouTube's whole interface and all that kind of stuff. And I think I've got something of a grasp on it now, but we'll see. I'm sure I'm wrong. I'm sure I'll be proven wrong. So this is just, we're all just here learning today, everybody. We're all just here to learn and grow together and figure out how all of this works. So that hypothetically I can do this more in the future, but we'll see. This isn't something that I'm necessarily going to do super frequently. Just because I don't know. I like watching streams sometimes, but even then I'll usually watch them archived. I've never really participated in the chat on streams and stuff like that. This isn't my favorite medium through which to do this kind of stuff, because I like having, unless it's like a Let's Play, I like having scripts. And even if it is a Let's Play, I like having the option of editing it. I like to be able to cut out boring stuff. I like to be able to change things. I like to be able to tighten up the experience a little bit for you guys, and also be able to cut things out if I say something I didn't want on the air. More not necessarily like, sensitive or I should say insensitive things. More just like personal information when I'm talking with Joey or Aiden or whatever, and we're comfortable around each other, so perhaps I'll say something that I didn't necessarily want out there for everybody, right? So it's nice to have the option of being able to go back and fix things. Also because I like to try and keep videos on this channel generally PG to PG-13, and it's nice to have the option of bleeping out swears if they happen. This just means that I'll have to be extra careful, because now it's here forever. Even if I try to change it later, you guys will all remember forever. So anyway, yeah, we're hanging out here. I wrapped up my college semester a couple of days ago, so we're getting back heavy into YouTube stuff now. I've already technically finished one video essay that I might share with you guys as a little preview. I mean, not a super incredible essay. It's just something that I put together. I kind of challenged myself. I talked about it on Twitter a little bit. I challenged myself to get it done like really, really quickly. Challenged myself to get it done really fast. I finished it in like less than 10 hours with distractions. I was talking with my brother a lot and watching some other YouTube videos, so I was pretty happy with myself that I got it done so quickly. Basically got it all done in the course of like I said, like 10 hours or so. The video is only about 4 or 5 minutes long. It's about Shovel Knight. As I mentioned previously, I wanted to try and do video essays, or none. Again, a video essay, not quite the right term. So an editorial review, whatever. A video that is scripted about all of the games that we do on research runs. I want to try and make a video about them, all of the full Let's Plays, and hopefully for some of the rambles as well. So there's a Shovel Knight video that's basically done, mostly done. And there is a Hitman video in the works. Editing isn't really done on it yet, but I've worked on the script a lot. I'm also, though I think the next thing comes out after the Shovel Knight video will probably be a video about Celeste, which is a fantastic little indie platforming game that I've been playing a lot of recently that is very good. I say recently, I technically finished it like a month ago, or I finished the main campaign a month ago. I've been really busy. I don't have a ton of time to play video games or work on YouTube stuff lately. But yeah, check this out. Look. There's 33 people watching. Hot damn. Hot diggity dog. I feel so important right now. So elevated beyond my regular status. By the way, like I said, we're all here to hopefully learn a little something about how this works. So if I'm too quiet or something goes wrong with the audio, you guys need to let me know, because I'm not necessarily going to be listening to this super carefully, especially because it's on delay. So if something is amiss, you guys gotta let me know, and we'll try to fix it together so it'll be better next time. I have chat to read. Let's have a look at this and see if there's anybody saying anything terribly interesting. I can't wait to ignore all of you. Please don't be excited, says Harmon Pope. That is correct. Don't be excited. Who is this scrub, asks Dean Weiss. It's me! Jacob, you know me. I was in that video congratulating you for the 10,000 subscribers that you didn't have. I'm just messing with you, Dean. Dean's a good guy. He makes YouTube videos about Final Fantasy and sometimes Kingdom Hearts. You should check him out. Slow mode is turned on because while I doubt that I'm going to have many people in here, this was mostly just me messing with features last night, just trying to figure out how stuff worked. I'll probably turn off slow mode in a few minutes. I was just fiddling around with settings this morning / last night, mostly this morning. And that was one thing that I was messing with. I will turn it off for you guys in a few minutes. I'll never forget this moment, says someone. I sure will, so I hope that you will, because if you never forget the moment you were first in a Frustrated Jacob live stream, but I do, you got to find some more exciting things in your life. Boy. Yes, Shovel Knight video, cool. So much slowdown. Oh! Hello, Mackenzie, Kenzie. I don't know what I should call you here. Yeah, you said that you were going to be at work, but there's a lull at work, so here you are. Listen, if you get fired or in trouble because of this, it's not my fault, okay? So you have to be careful and not get caught, because I'm not taking that heat for you. You have a child to worry about. Skyward Wing says KH3 sucks. What, was he playing it at the location? I know that he's there right now playing it. I'm not going to ignore you, Shade. I'm reading your chat right now and I'm talking about it. Audio sounds good. That's nice. Alrighty. So yeah, like I said, we're mostly just going to be screwing around with settings a little bit doing this. Don't really know what we're going to do or what's going to happen. So I've got a couple of layouts already set up. So check this out. Look, it's the first ever non-canonical test stream, and there's a test GIF down there of Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop eating instant noodles, because I was just messing around with settings, and I don't care. But check this out. I've got it set up so that, bam, look at that. It's the internet. The internet is right there, guys. Isn't that incredible? And if we want to, I don't think we're going to do this today. I'm thinking more like maybe tomorrow or another day once there's a little bit more out. Check it out. I've pulled up some Kingdom Hearts 3 related stuff because of all the information that's coming out right now, right? We're not going to talk about that right now because I didn't mark this as like a Kingdom Hearts 3 spoiler thing and people are sensitive about that. So we might look at that some other time. I've also set everything up so that I can hopefully send gameplay through to the stream, but we'll test that in just a minute. Yes, that is a Professor Layton background to somebody who asked. I was just looking for images to put in the backdrop. Initially, I had a some art, or I guess not an art. It was all of the all-out attacks from Persona 4 kind of put together as a wallpaper. But I felt like it was a bit too busy and too distracting to have as the background for something like this. So I was looking around a little bit for Professor Layton wallpapers just because I felt like it. And this is a shot of Stansbury, which is one of the towns you go to in Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask, which is a really good one. And I played the main theme of Miracle Mask at the beginning of this stream, if you didn't know what that was. I should have commented at the beginning, but I believe I forgot. I apologize. Yeah, so yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff is happening today, but like I said, we're not going to talk about that a ton. I'm sure if you guys want me to talk about it and you have some questions for me, I'll answer them. I don't mind. We're going to be here for a little while. We got to find something to do, or else this is going to be a complete waste of everybody's time. So yeah, we'll talk about Kingdom Hearts a little bit, but I'm just not gonna go into any detail or analyze any trailers or anything like that. But hey, those of you who like me doing trailer analysis stuff, I've basically said that I'm done with that. Not done with it forever, but like it's no longer my priority because editing those things takes so much time. I believe that I talked about this previously in an update video. What was it called? It was the changes in upcoming projects. Yeah, what's going on? Changes in upcoming projects. And I basically said that analyzing stuff. I hate hype culture, and I hate the lead up to releases of things. I just want the actual product because all of the talk and preamble that we have in the years leading up to it is just hot air. Like there are so many things that I know I've waited so long for that like I was anticipating for years, but once I actually have it and I've played it, like all of the time of waiting just kind of blurs together and is insignificant. It's ultimately the product that matters. If the wait time was more important than the product, that probably means the product wasn't good enough. Hard lessons you have to learn in life. I learned them early with L.A. Noire. L.A. Noire is a game that I like a lot, but I was very disappointed by it when it initially came out because I built it up into my head in something that was bigger than it was, I think. I was a bit disappointed by it. Going back and replaying L.A. Noire later, like it a lot. So not one of my favorite games. Very interesting game, I would say. Very interesting game that I enjoy quite a bit. made a video about it if you haven't watched it. You could do that if you were so inclined. You could also not watch it. These are all options that are available to you in this free world of the internet, where the U.S. Congress recently started talking about net neutrality again in a slightly more positive light. So hey, that's great, good news. But anyway, like I was saying, hype and building towards stuff. I just always feel like there's only so much that can be said before the actual release of something that actually has value. That's why I don't like movie trailer analysis stuff, because it's like I want to know the plot of the movie when I go in, right? The only reason I made that one video about the Force Awakens trailer ages ago was it wasn't about the story, it was about the cinematography, because I thought it was interesting that like all of those films, even the animated like TV shows and animated film, are shot very similarly. Even though they had different directors, they were shot very similarly, whereas J.J. Abrams has a particular style that's really different. So I thought it was interesting to kind of compare and contrast the way things are shot with that trailer. But with video games, I feel like there's a bit more utility to it, because we don't get demos very often for video games anymore. But playing them is a big component of it. So if we can look at a trailer and figure out, kind of how it works, what it's going to play like, that is valuable information for consumers to have, right? But just like with Final Fantasy 15, the game was completely different from what it was in the trailers, as we all know. So most of the time that I spent examining it was wasted. I'm still happy with some of the stuff that I did covering that game early on, but so much of the gameplay analysis that I did was just wasted, because it ultimately wound up being a very, very different game. And those videos have no shelf life, right? Like after the game is out, there's no point in watching them. And plus that game got 2 demos, right? So even after we started getting trailers where the gameplay was closer to final, there was no real reason to look at them in detail, because like we'd had 2 separate demos of Final Fantasy 15, and one of them was like updated multiple times. So there was just no need. There was just no need to go into that in more depth. And with Kingdom Hearts, though the gameplay appears to be significantly more consistent than Final Fantasy 15's was, there's still been a lot of changes, to the point that a lot of the material I discussed in the 2 trailer analysis videos I did back in 2015 for E3 2015 and for Jump Festa 2015. While I generally like those videos, especially the Jump Festa one, I feel like was very concise and I liked how I put it together. Much of the information just, there's no point. There's no point going back and watching those videos, right? And there will be even less point after the game has actually come out. So it's just not something that was initially what I did on YouTube, and I enjoyed doing it because it's something that my head does anyway. Like a lot of people were complimentary of me and saying like that I went into a lot of depth in a lot of those videos, but like honestly, that's just my my default mode. Like half the stuff that I talk about in those videos is stuff that I see it after watching it 2 times, right? So if I was going to do any of that, 3 demos, says Dean. He is correct. There were 3 demos for 15. If I was going to do any analysis for Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers, which I don't necessarily think that I want to do, but if I did, live streaming is easy because I don't have to worry about editing anything. I can just pull up the YouTube video or a QuickTime file, and we can go frame by frame and talk about things, right? And that's no production time for me. There's no editing and script writing and whatnot. Very easy. And so if people still wanted to do that, I could make it without putting in too much terribly effort. And yeah, if as someone asked, somebody in the stream asked, who could it be? Somebody asked, if you're gonna do Kingdom Hearts 3 shenanigans, feel free to just let me know so I can skedaddle away from potential spoilers. I will. If I talk about any Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff, don't worry. Everything will be marked if I'm gonna talk about spoilers for things, either in the title of a video or there'll be a big text warning on a stream if I'm ever talking about spoilers for whatever reason. I'm not while I myself am not super uptight about spoilers, I know that other people are, and I would never deign to ruin the experience for somebody else by being a little bit too loosey-goosey about spoilers if they're not comfortable with that. I would never want to do that to somebody. But anyway, point being, this could be a good format to do stuff like that. It's like another thing, a video that I did a while ago, let's talk about KH3's development, marketing, and some lore nonsense, which was a video that I enjoyed recording, but I only did it because I felt like I had a lot to talk about. And I said that I probably wouldn't ever do anything like that again. People seem to really enjoy it. A lot of people were saying, please do more like this. Hey, this is the type of format that I could potentially do stuff like that in. Let's read some chat, shall we? Because I haven't been keeping up with it because I've just been talking. No, I'm not paying your bills. Don't say that. Yes, I have seen some of the leaks, quotation marks, Dean. Actually, I saw leaks yesterday. Some guy got... So press was in there yesterday, clearly. Like, YouTubers were in there today, like Gamers Joint and HMK and all those guys were in there. Among them, the only ones that I really want to, I don't want to sound down on anybody, but I just don't like a lot of their content. And it's gonna be gameplay stuff anyway. But Bizkit 047 and I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation of the name, but Soralam1, I believe, are both there, and they know what they're talking about when it comes to the actual combat and design of Kingdom Hearts. So hopefully we'll get some good info from those guys. But yeah, so there were press people in there yesterday. I assume from the fact that there are already videos and articles coming out on, Kotaku and Eurogamer and IGN and wherever else. So yeah, and even before articles were coming out, some people were taking photos and snapping them, and they were winding up on some screenshots wound up on V Games, and then they got posted on the Kingdom Hearts Reddit yesterday. So I was looking at those, but everything that was in them we've now seen just in the official videos that Square released, that like Eurogamer and GameSpot and other people, like they released like a set package of, here's the footage you can use in your videos. And so most of the stuff that was leaked yesterday is now officially out. But yeah, so hopefully maybe tomorrow or Sunday we'll do a stream and talk about some Kingdom Hearts stuff, because I'm sure that some of you really care and would like to. I mean, I care, but I mean, like, some of you might care to hear what I have to say, I guess. So yeah, we'll give that a shot maybe. Let's see. Statistically, I'm your biggest fan, says Julian Brasseur. I don't know how to. Just for the record, I know most of you guys. Like, I recognize your names and I remember your comments, but just don't blame me if I butcher the pronunciation on your names. I've never had face-to-face conversations with you. Statistically, I'm your biggest fan. How do you handle that? I don't. I move on. I mean, like, that's cool. I don't know what you want me to do with that exactly. It's very cool, and I appreciate it that you enjoy my videos. I really appreciate it when people like my stuff, but the way that I handle it is by reading that comment and saying thanks. That's how I handle it. Let's see. From what I've seen, it's a mixed bag. Cool things like, yep, Yeah. There was, in my last video, the Kingdom Hearts 3 A Sense of Fun, I briefly talk about, I don't even talk about it, during one of the clips, there's a text caption that shows up, and it's like, Sora takes a hit during an uncontrollable finisher animation in like a summon sequence, and it was like, oh no, no. You use that at the wrong time in a boss fight, and you're just dead, and there's literally nothing you can do about it. Again, we're gonna not talk about that too much right now, though. What do I think about the scale of it? I don't want to talk about Kingdom Hearts 3 too much right now. It looks big. It looks impressive. It depends, but if there's nothing meaningful to find in these large worlds, then that scale is mostly meaningless. Will you keep the stream posted on the channel after it ends? Because it's quite late here in Europe. Okay, yes, I should address that. I was going to say that right up front. I think that all streams will probably be hosted here on the Frustrated Jacob channel, but if they are archived, which most of them will be, they will probably be archived on the Research Runs channel. I imagine stuff like this, where we're just chatting and everybody's hanging out and having fun, and trailer analysis stuff, if we do I'm using that as an example since I was just talking about it. If we're just doing a general all-purposes stream, then it'll probably get archived here on the main channel. Whereas if we're doing a gameplay stream, it'll probably get archived on Research Runs, even if it's broadcast here. I think everything will be broadcast here just because more subscribers, more people are checking this channel more frequently. And then if it's gameplay stuff, after it's broadcast here, it'll be archived on the second channel. So thank you for asking that. I would have forgotten. I should have made a list. I should have made a list. Okay. What time is it where you are? That's a great question. I will say that it is mid to late afternoon, but I'm not going to say exactly what time it is, because that's part of my mysterious ways to keep secrets from you guys. Covering for 15, so as Dean Weiss says, I have to agree. Covering 15 for 2+ years really hurt the experience for me, which is why I've been laying off Kingdom Hearts 3. Agreed. Like, I enjoyed 15. Like, honest to God, liked 15. As you know, if you watched our discussion video between me and Joey, we both liked that game. He had very little attachment to it beyond what I'd been telling him about it. I had a great deal of attachment to it, and I still enjoyed it, but that was because I always kept my expectations tempered, right? Like, I mean, ever since Versus 13 vanished, even when 13 came back, I was like, I kept my expectations maintained. I admit that when I was younger and when Versus 13 was a thing, my expectations were not tempered, and I thought it was going to be the coolest thing ever, but I had time for that to cool off a little bit. Again, it's great example. Just recently, a game called God of War came out. God of War 2018. I've never played any of the previous God of War games. I've watched a decent amount of them. I'm not a huge fan of them conceptually. when that trailer came out at E3 a couple of years ago, I didn't care. It wasn't that I was like, oh, a God of War, I hate this game, grr. But it was just like I didn't care. I had no reason to become enthused about it, right? So like I never sought anything out regarding the new God of War. Like if a new trailer showed up at E3 or an event or whatever, like I'd watch it and then it would almost immediately leave my brain. Like I think all the things I could have told you about it before a couple of weeks ago were like Kratos has a beard and he's old and sad now. Kid, weird over the shoulder perspective that I'm skeptical of. Norse setting, boat, world serpent. Those are the only things I could have told you about God of War before it came out, right? And I didn't care. But then some people on YouTube that I like called the Super Best Friends, they started doing a Let's Play of it. After making fun of God of War in a couple of videos previously to that one, so I was like, what's the deal? I'll check this out. And within like an hour of their playthrough, I was hooked, like beyond any logic. That game is awesome. And I, though I haven't yet because I've been too busy, I intend to go out and buy a copy immediately. Not immediately, I guess, since I haven't, but as soon as possible. I intend to go out and buy a copy of God of War and play it myself because it seems extremely good. But that's just a perfect example of a game where I had no expectations for it and didn't care. And then what I viewed of it came out of nowhere and shocked me and surprised me. And it was like, oh my gosh, this is great. And I had no expectations, right? I just stumbled upon that. Like if I had been waiting for God of War and I was a huge fan of it, then maybe I would have been disappointed by it or maybe would have met my expectations. It wasn't even that I thought it would be bad. I just had zero expectations. And then it came out of nowhere and floored me. And I'm very excited for it now. And now it's probably, granted, I don't play a lot of games. So like saying that's one of my favorite games of the year so far isn't much because so far it's like that and Celeste are the only things that I've been thoroughly exposed to. But point being, hype is poisonous and don't expect anything so that when the game delivers less, you can still enjoy it. Really need to catch up on your KH2 playthrough. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. For anybody who's in here who doesn't know, we have a second channel called Research Runs, and that's where all of our playthrough stuff is now. It's not here anymore. You have to go over to our second channel. We've done a playthrough of, what have we done playthroughs of? We've done several of what we call Research Rambles, which are basically just kind of one-off or two-off episodes where you don't play the full game. We just play it for 30 minutes or a couple of hours or whatever. Like we played Final Fantasy 12 for almost 8 hours. That's not true. More like 6 hours. And that was just a ramble. We didn't do the full game because that game's like 70 hours, and the way that we would play it, it would be like 90 hours. But yeah, we did a full playthrough of Hitman 2016. We did a full playthrough of Shovel Knight. Full playthrough of Kingdom Hearts 2 is currently ongoing. Go over to Research Runs, check them out, have a good time. We also did rambles in, like I said, Final Fantasy 12, the Star Wars Battlefront 2 beta, which was hilarious because we recorded that before all of the, like we were already talking about, man, these loot boxes are kind of shady, but it could be okay. And then like right after those videos started coming out, all of the really bad stuff about like, you've got to grind for 40 hours to buy one of the heroes, like started coming out. So that was, I felt foolish about some of the things we said in that video, but it was all recorded before the information came out. So, oh well, I was going to play Battlefront 2. I was very seriously considering doing a playthrough of the campaign on the channel with my brother. And then that whole thing went down, and now I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Would have loved to go in blind for Infinity War, but everyone had to say everything about it. I still haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen Infinity War yet either, but I remain mostly unspoiled at this point. I've seen the memes, the I don't feel so good meme, but there are only, with regards to the way that character talks, there are only two people who could logically die. Who it could logically be, and one of them I already knew was dead because it was a character who was literally born to die when they were introduced into these movies. So I have my list of my suspected kills in Infinity War, and the internet has spoiled one for me conclusively, but it was one that I suspected anyway, so it doesn't matter. Let's see. Oh no, my chat skipped way down. I gotta scroll back up and figure out where I was. Hold on a second. Let's have a look here. I want to read some of these, but there's for 47 people, you guys sure have a lot to talk about. Future games you plan to stream. I don't plan on streaming games a super ton because I like doing the edited Let's Plays that we do over on Research Runs. Even if I don't have notes prepared ahead of time, I like having the option and liberty of being able to edit them. That said, something that I'm very seriously considering right now. You'll hear in some videos that may or may not come out sometime this summer, remains to be seen. You'll hear me make mention of starting work on notes for Birth by Sleep. For those who are not aware, I have very exhaustive, extensive notes on Kingdom Hearts 2 for our Kingdom Hearts 2 playthrough, right? For those who are not aware. I make mention of starting notes on Birth by Sleep, and I did start on them last summer, and then they immediately fell by the wayside, and I barely got like halfway through Terra's campaign. It did not go well. So I still need to do notes for that, because hypothetically we will be starting to film Birth by Sleep within like a month and a half if everything goes well. Don't hold me to that. Remains to be seen how fast we'll be able to finish filming Kingdom Hearts 2 and how fast Joey will be able to finish playing 358 Days Over 2 on his own time. But hypothetically, I'd like to start filming Birth by Sleep relatively soon. And I need notes. I need notes, guys. I'm not ready. So I might hypothetically do solo streams of Birth by Sleep, which would be, in terms of commentary and discussion with you guys, would be spoiler open season across the entire series. And hopefully that way I'd also be able to create some slightly more robust notes, because if you guys were talking with me about, well, no, Jacob, that doesn't make sense because of this, or what do you mean by that, Jacob? Could you explain yourself a little bit better? Then hopefully we will be able to refine the actual Let's Play until it is extremely tight and consistent and really nice, really well written, so that I hopefully don't have to correct myself too much, because there's been several times in the Kingdom Hearts 2 playthrough so far where I've had to go back and edit in explanations of things. There's a couple episodes that haven't come out yet where I've literally gone back and recorded extra segments where it's like, let me clarify, because when I was with Aiden and Joey, they really knew what I was talking about because they could see my face, and I was just joking around about these things, so I need to clarify about X, Y, and Z. So you'll see that in some upcoming episodes of the playthrough in a couple of weeks. God, not even a couple of weeks. Oh man, I'm really the Kingdom Hearts 2 playthrough is coming down to the wire, guys, on editing. I was like a couple months ahead, and then school got busy, and now I'm barely caught up. I took a week off from it because my finals were going on in school, and I didn't have time. I literally didn't even have time to make thumbnails and write descriptions for this week's episodes. Even though they were edited, I literally didn't have time to do even that. So I pushed them off to this week, got the thumbnails and stuff done last weekend. And then this week, I edited most of next week's episodes. They're not quite done yet. I still need to do some work there. That's part of what we're working on this weekend. And hopefully, Joey and Aiden will be joining me to film some stuff this coming week. We'll see. That might not happen. For anybody who is keeping up with the Kingdom Hearts 2 playthrough, Aiden is in there a little bit. Right now, the episodes that are airing, she's in. She's going to depart eventually, and then Joey and I are going to have several more episodes that are just us, because we've had a whole recording session since then. It was just us two. But we might luck out schedule-wise and have Aiden back for another recording session in the near future, and we'll all film Kingdom Hearts 2 together. We'll see. Might not happen, but we'll see. Back to chat. So yeah, plans to stream in the future. Maybe the Kingdom Hearts games just to get notes set. Also multiplayer stuff that doesn't deserve like a full video. Like if it's just like, hey guys, let's play Call of Duty and talk. Streaming is fine for that, you know? We are going to do a little bit of game stuff here today just because I want to test a few things. I have my PS4 set up. I think I'm going to do some Uncharted 4 multiplayer with you guys. Just, again, not for long, just to make sure that everything is juking and jiving properly. I only got PlayStation Plus a couple of months ago. I've had my PS4 basically since I got it a while ago when I was like, I'm going to need this anyway for YouTube because of Final Fantasy 15. This is a worthy investment. I need to go ahead and get this. And I got it around the time that Ground Zeroes went on big sale, and I got Ground Zeroes for like $7, and that was the first thing I ever got on PS4. My PS4 collection is still pretty limited, but because it's like what I've got Ground Zeroes and Metal Gear Solid 5, the first episode of Life is Strange that I did that Let's Play of that is gone now, so let's not even count that. I have PT because I had to get it before it went away. I've never even played it, but I had to get PT before it went away. Persona 5, obviously, Final Fantasy Type 0 HD, Final Fantasy 15, Uncharted 4, Hitman 2016, and I still have Joey's copy of Doom 2016. So sorry about that, man. Haven't played it much recently. If you need it back, just let me know. I haven't had time to play it lately. Let's see. Do you think hype culture will destroy the Final Fantasy VII Remake? Lol, I feel like the hype for Final Fantasy VII Remake is in shambles right now. Yeah. I could talk about the Final Fantasy VII Remake a little bit. So for those who don't know, a lot of what I'm about to say is let's just consider this to be, as Super Bunny Hop would say, an elaborately specific rumor. So CyberConnect 2 was a company that make a lot of licensed anime games. Like they've done a lot of Naruto games and dot hack games that are not bad games from my understanding. They're very well produced games, but not exactly on the scale and graphical fidelity that Square Enix would want for a Final Fantasy VII Remake. But it didn't come out. They were announced ages ago that a lot of the 7 Remake was being outsourced to these guys, like a huge chunk of it. And it also came out a little while ago, like almost 2 years ago now, that they'd ended their partnership with CyberConnect 2, and it was all back in-house at Square Enix. Part of the reason why they revealed this was because they were beefing up staff in order to be able to make it, right? They needed to bring people in to actually develop the game. I'm not listening to anything, so I don't know why my headphones are on. If I'm fiddling with audio later, I'll put them back on, but for now, I was getting a bit hot. So CyberConnect 2. But some rumor came out recently from a guy who is a credible, like, he's a real guy who's verified on Twitter, who's like a Japanese game developer who speaks English, and a lot of his social media stuff got taken down, which is always a good sign for legitimacy. If they got in trouble about it. He was basically saying that all of the work that CyberConnect 2 did on the Final Fantasy VII Remake was subpar, to the extent that Square Enix scrapped like all of it 2 years ago, right? And basically development on the game did not really start in earnest until effectively like 2 years after it was announced, which is great, which is wonderful. I don't know, hype culture is absolutely destroying the Final Fantasy VII Remake because hype culture created the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Man, that's my big deal, is that, like... Okay, so I talked about this in the marketing campaign of Doom video, which if you haven't watched, you should check out. It only has, like... How many views does it have? Because I'm still bitter about the lack of views on that video. So go watch it. It has 17,257 views, and it is the best thing that I've ever made as far as I'm personally concerned. So please watch it. And then as a follow-up, watch our good graphics killing good games. But anyway, the Final Fantasy VII Remake has always been bizarre to me because it's something created by internet culture, right? Where Square Enix had done tech demos previously for the N64, where they basically created what would a turn-based battle look like on N64, and they used like rough 3D models of Final Fantasy VI characters fighting Final Fantasy VI enemies, right? Tech demo for N64, back when they were still partnering with Nintendo, right? PS2 rolls around. They did a tech demo for the PS2 that was the ballroom dance scene from Final Fantasy VII, except it was just Squall and Rinoa, instead of a ton of other people being there. And it was a lot more detail in the animation. And also they were happy because it looked like it was when they were actually a couple as opposed to when they were strangers hitting the dance floor together. And these all existed, but because the internet didn't really exist in the way that it does today, people didn't see them. Then the PlayStation 3 rolls around and Square Enix did another tech demo where they recreated the opening of Final Fantasy VII on PlayStation 3. And even though it was in big, bold letters, tech demo, there was no trend established for the vast majority of consumers, so this circulated around the internet, and everybody, even if they knew it was just a tech demo, they were just, oh man, I can't wait, Final Fantasy VII Remake with modern graphics, oh my god, I'm wearing a wire and this is a bad idea, I'm back. Okay, you get the point. You get my point. And Square Enix said we're never going to do it. It's not plausible because it's too big of a game to remake at that scale, right? And nobody can agree on what they want from it now that it exists, right? Like they finally said everybody's been joking for years. Why won't they just do it? It's free money. Everybody would buy it. You'd buy it, right? You'd buy it, right? Why won't they do it? They're so stupid. The second that they announce it, there's about a full 12 hours of everybody being excited and positive and enthusiastic, and Bosman, getting up on the chair and all that kind of stuff that we all love, right? I love Bosman. Not ironically, like Kyle Bosman's a great guy. Seems like anyway. I don't know him personally, but he's a savvy dude. But that one moment of emotional vulnerability during the 7 remake is fantastic. But anyway, point is, like, immediately everybody started disagreeing on what this game should and shouldn't be. Like, should they change things? Should they not change things? I don't even want a big action-type remake of the game. I just want the original Final Fantasy VII, but with new models and new pre-rendered backgrounds. No, it's got to be entirely new, and it's all got to be in 3D and action-based, and why it should be turn-based, but with the full graphics. Nobody can agree on what this game should be. Nobody can agree on what this game should be. And it seems like internally at Square, they can't agree on what it should be either. It's just so I think hype culture didn't just destroy the Final Fantasy VII remake. It created the Final Fantasy VII remake and then destroyed it. I don't care one way or the other because while I like Final Fantasy VII a lot, I don't have a lot of emotional investment or history with this whole idea of a remake because I always thought that it was never going to happen. So I'll play it, probably, if I have time, and I'll probably enjoy it one way or the other. I'll enjoy the time that I spend with it, even if it's a train wreck. I don't like... The original will always be there. If they ruin it, I'll live, Like, it's not, even, like, Final Fantasy X-2, like, doesn't ruin 10. Like, 10 is still fine, because I don't know, some people have a harder time doing this with, like, canon and whatnot, but, like, I can very easily like mentally cordon off things where like I can watch A New Hope and appreciate it just for what it is and completely forget that Darth Vader is Luke's father. Spoilers. Just kind of push it out of my head, and like I can try to perceive what that movie was on its own at the time when it came out, right? So like, despite the fact that Toriyama decided in 10, you know, 10 Final Fantasy X is a game about moving on with your life and accepting change and becoming an adult. So what Final Fantasy X-2 should be is an extremely juvenile game where nobody moves on with their life. But it doesn't ruin 10, you know? Like, it doesn't... Not that I love 10 a lot in the first place. I think 10's fine. It's kind of a mess, but... Point is, like, it's easy for me to cordon these things off, so no matter how bad the 7 remake is, it really won't bother me. Like, just because the Last Airbender movie was bad, it doesn't mean that Avatar is any less of a masterpiece. Not Avatar Blue Man Group by James Cameron. Avatar The Last Airbender, the television show, which is incredible. You may have heard good things about it and said, I'll get around to it eventually, watch it. It is one of my favorite television shows, period. Am I a fan of Danganronpa? No, I'm not. I know nothing about it. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about any Kingdom Hearts 3 spoilers. Don't worry, guys. So if anybody wants to know. Yes, stream is just a test, sir. I know I'm like now way behind on all this chat stuff. This is part of why I put the stream delay in. Even with 51 people, I can't keep up with this, right? This is just a test. I'm just screwing around with stuff. We're going to mess around with settings a bit more in a few minutes. Try out a few different things. Something that I noticed about the Kingdom Hearts 2 videos with Aiden, she is way too new at these games to be cynical. That is true. Joey's not cynical about a lot of this stuff either, because he doesn't know. Neither of them know. I've kept many secrets from them. Is the stream just going to be you talking, or will we be playing something? We might want to play. We might play something in a little bit. Just to test. Like as the title says, non-canonical test stream. None of this is real. None of this is happening. This is all taking place in an alternate universe. Hawkeyes, says Hoikoikius. I'll remember how to pronounce your name in the future. Have I checked out the Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition, and do you think it is worth addressing in a new video/stream? No. I mean, there's nothing for me to talk about. It exists. It's all the DLC and some extra stuff. Like, that's fine. I haven't gone back to 15 and played any of the DLC. I enjoyed it, and it was fun, and I'm not bitter about, like, not getting the full experience, because I enjoyed my time with it. And maybe, and, like, I watched bits of Prompto, and I watched a couple of the endings for Ignis, so, like, I mean, that's not ideal. I should have paid for them. But, like, they invited that upon themselves. They invited that reality upon themselves, okay? I know that's not a great attitude to have, but it's like, again, people complained about, I played the game and beat it, and I invested 40 hours in it. I'm not going back in to invest more time into it. I'm done with it. I stepped away from it. I'm not going to go back just to get this extra content. And I don't blame people for thinking that way at all. I think that's a fair way to think about it. Somebody commented I should enlarge my webcam. No, because this is a really, really crappy SD webcam built into my desktop computer, and it's not very good. And any bigger than this, and I would be extremely ugly. Very, very ugly. You wouldn't like it very much. So no, I won't be talking about... I have one video in mind about Final Fantasy 15 that I will hopefully produce sometime in the coming weeks. Not saying that it will be out right away. I'm trying to, in this month of May, this is May, right? I'm trying to really cram right now and get a bunch of scripted, edited videos done really quickly. I'm challenging myself to try and get 2 done a week. Not necessarily that they'll come out right away. I intend to thoroughly... I intend to make them and then step away from them for a while and go back and see if there's anything I want to change. Like that, like I said earlier, Shovel Knight video is done, and I'll probably show it to you guys in a little bit just because I'm curious what you guys will think. But I might make some more changes to it before it comes out. I don't know. Like I so often, like, I'll spend like 3 weeks making... I'm trying to change my format because, like, I'll spend like 3 weeks working on something. Not full time, obviously, but like in school, I only have so much time to work on things. So like I'll spend weeks and weeks working on something, and then nobody will watch it. Like the story and plot video, nobody watched. Good graphics, killing good games, didn't get a ton of views. Even though I worked a long time on that one. So I'm just trying to make an effort to make a bunch of stuff. Maybe not necessarily of the highest quality in the world, but a bunch of stuff covering a diverse range of topics that'll hopefully be able to release every couple of weeks going on for a while here. And every now and then maybe I'll strike gold with one that really blows up, like the Zelda Towers video that did. And, hopefully expand my viewership a little bit. Because I don't want to just talk about Kingdom Hearts stuff all the time, which I don't really. I think most people think of me as a Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy YouTuber, and that is where a large majority of my content is focused. But I would really very much like to talk about other things, which is why part of why I'm doing research runs the way that I am, by talking about other games and focusing on games that aren't Japanese and aren't RPGs, trying to get all of, because I have a lot of other interests, but I just keep getting pigeonholed into talking about certain things because there's a lot to say about Kingdom Hearts. Am I done with school for now? Yes, for now. I'm not taking any summer classes. I thought that I was. Some things changed. I'm not. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of school stuff over the summer anyway, because I have very big. So next semester will, God willing, be my last semester of college, at least for a while, unless I go to grad school, which possibly could happen. Who knows? But I have a number of very big, like, final projects that, like, I'm going to be doing pre-production on them. I was doing pre-production on them last semester. I had a pre-production class for one of my finals last semester, and I will be doing more over the summer. So, like, I'm not done with school, but I'm done with classes that I have to attend at a certain time, right? Mixed responses on the KH3 demo from HMK and Jared. Loved the KH3 demo, but Sky and Dean did not. Is Jared Cynicals/Gamers Joint's real name? I honestly don't know. I watch some of his videos every now and then, but I don't know what his real name is. Everybody calls him Cynical or the Gamers Joint. I don't know. Is Jared his real name? I don't know. Somebody will have to tell me. I'll look at all this stuff later. Let's see. Dad of Boy. Yes, Dad of Boy. So, I'm way behind in this. Ever bringing back Mario Kart? Good question. I thought about doing rambles in Mario Kart. I really want to talk about, this may sound stupid, on my list of potential, because I write down anything. Like, I just write down any idea, even if it's bad, just so it's there. This is part of how you spawn ideas. You just throw everything against the wall, even if it's bad, and hopefully it'll inspire, new ideas for games. Or new ideas for whatever, right? With any creative endeavor, just throw stuff out. The leverage diversity, as they say. Talk with lots of people, create lots of ideas. Something good will come of them. Even if you throw out a bad idea, it may give you talking about that idea may give you an idea for a good idea. So I'll write down any ideas that I have for videos or playthroughs, just so that they're there. And one that I really want to talk about is world building in Mario games, because I just find both the things that are consistent and the things that are inconsistent to be endlessly fascinating. Not that I care that much about lore, but I just like art design and stuff like that. And I really like in Mario Kart 8 all of, like, the advertisements and, like, the sponsorships and stuff that appear alongside the tracks and the different courses that they go to. So I've thought about doing some rambles in Mario Kart 8 and maybe making a video about it or something. Who knows? Probably not a full playthrough though. There's no really need to do that. Oh, crud. Chat keeps skipping around on me. I'm trying to read stuff, and it keeps skipping me down to the bottom. Good God, where are we? I'm trying to find where we are. There's so many things to read in chat. It's maybe possible we waited all this time for a 7 out of 10 game. I don't even know, because I don't know where this was appearing in time. I don't know if you're referring to Final Fantasy VII Remake or Kingdom Hearts 3, but either way, you're correct. Are you and Joy going to talk about... Yeah. Okay. So basically, I have no means with which to record DS games. Otherwise, the Kingdom Hearts playthrough would be insta-canceled, and we would be playing the Professor Layton games and 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. So you guys don't want that. But eventually, we will be getting to games like Days, where I really don't like the movie version of it so much. I don't feel like it's a proper representation of the game. So I intend to loan Joey my copy of Days and let him play it on his own time. And then we will record a live-action discussion video, as we did with Final Fantasy 15. And we'll talk about it, and I'll probably either watch the movie with Aiden, not record it, just watch it so she's caught up, or I'll send her, like, a link to a playthrough or something. Or she'll play it herself. I don't know. She might not have time to play it herself. I'm probably going to recommend, like... Nico B's playthrough is neat because he edits together all of the CG, 1.5 movies into a playthrough of the DS game that's emulated and runs at a higher resolution. So, like, I don't depending on, no matter how you feel about Nico B's commentary, I think that he's mostly a pretty good Let's Player, even if he can be a bit shrill sometimes. Nico B, if you happen to be watching this, I know you aren't. Just know, I enjoy your stuff and I've watched a lot of it, but sometimes you can scream a lot, and I'm used to it, but it makes it hard to recommend you sometimes to other people because I'm not sure what they'll think of that. But anyway, point is, that his playthrough is probably gonna be the one that I recommend to anybody, because like I know a lot of people are watching the Kingdom Hearts playthroughs who haven't played the games before. There's been several people who have or they've only played one or two of them, right? Since we're not doing days, I'm gonna recommend people to play it themselves if they can, watch the movie if they have no time, and if somewhere in between they have a lot of time but not enough time to play the whole game, watch Nico B's playthrough and just skip the gameplay, right? Just skip to the important stuff, or watch bits of the gameplay. But yeah, so we'll talk about days after it's finished. Don't worry, we will have a thorough discussion of days. Have we finished filming the Kingdom Hearts 2 playthrough? No, not at all. Not at all. We're more than halfway, but we're not finished yet. Do Birth by Sleep with Joey. Not on stream. The filmed Let's Play will be on stream, but if I do note gathering streams of Birth by Sleep, they'll be by myself. Possibly with my brother. Because when we're doing those, I'll be reading chat and stuff, and we can talk about whatever, right? And I'll be spoiling things willy-nilly. So like Joey and Aiden couldn't be with me. April 1st, 2032, mark your calendars for VBS playthrough. We are going to attempt the best that we can to get through all these games before Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. Doggone it. Don't you challenge me that way. We are going to, now that summer has rolled around and time is going to be a little bit more freely available, we are going to attempt to film all of the remaining Kingdom Hearts games before, August or September, hopefully. We probably won't make that deadline, but we're going to get as much of it done as we can. Damn it. Doesn't mean that we'll all come out right away, because editing it takes a lot of time as well. But hopefully we'll be able to film at least a good chunk of it. What are you studying in college, somebody asks. Video and film production, mostly. I'm studying this type of stuff a little bit. Film stuff. I've made some short movies in college that none of you guys have seen. Might make some of those accessible to you guys soon, because I might be begging you all for money soon to help me with my final project. I am mostly joking. I have considered opening a Patreon for this channel, especially because I'm still making no money off of research runs. Initially, when I submitted my application for that, they were like, we've got a backlog. All cases will be reviewed by the end of April, and that was in February. Now it's changed to say the end of June. So yeah. I'm seriously considering supplementing my income with all of this and doing a Patreon thing, but that takes a long time to set up. That's a somewhat future problem. Not like months and months away, but not a this weekend ordeal. That takes a little while to plan. Am I excited at all for Death Stranding? I haven't seen nearly enough of it to care. I like Kojima. He makes some good stuff, but he's kind of hit and miss a lot of the times. I've actually been playing Metal Gear with my brother recently because he hasn't played them before. So that's been an exciting experience. I don't know. I need to see more of Death Stranding. I don't know what it is yet. I need to see gameplay before I can care. It's not to say that I'm not excited for it, because it'll be wacky and wild, and then the production value and cinematography in his games is always fantastic. I intend to I'll talk about that some other time. I'm sure Death Stranding will be interesting if nothing else, but I really need to see more of what it is before I can waste too many brain cells caring about it, I guess is the best way of putting it. Frustrated Aiden video was a masterpiece. Best reaction to the Roxas sequence ever. Share it with your friends then. Send it to more people and get me more views. Get it on the Kingdom Hearts Reddit or whatever. I know that's not how that works. I'm just joking around. Quick question, Jacob. If you had fake YouTube beef with another YouTuber for views, who would it be? I don't even know how to answer that question. I should have read the whole question before I read it out loud, because now I'm committed to the position and I have to answer it. I don't know. I feel like the best guy ever would be fun to fight with. to have a fake fight with, that would be fun. Joey says it's all good unless they announce, because I said you need to give him his copy of Doom back. It's all good unless they announce Doom DLC at E3 this year. Doubt it though. Yeah, it's not gonna happen, man. You're not gonna happen. Dude, Bethesda's gonna be, I can't wait. I really hope so. We've been talking about possibly filming E3 stuff this year. Joey's work schedule is always tight, which means his availability is limited. But at the very least, I'm very seriously considering filming E3 with myself and my brother, and then letting Joey get on the action whenever he can slip away and has time to watch a conference or two. Don't hold us to that now that I've announced it. It's not an announcement. It is an idea that probably won't happen. Someone says, I want to watch Avatar the show, but I can't find it anywhere. Does anyone know where it will play? Buy the DVDs. I don't want to be rude, because pirating anime is very common, but it's not anime. It's an American television show. Buy the DVDs. It is. I say that partially because it is so rare for Western animation to get solid DVD releases. Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon do it occasionally, but Disney never does it. There was actually recently, they are doing a box set of Gravity Falls, which is an episodic show. You have to watch week to week across 2 seasons to get a full story, but they never did a full release of it. The only reason it's happening now is because some other company has licensed it. Disney isn't even making it. Another company has licensed the rights to make the DVDs for it, basically on behalf of Disney, and then Disney is selling them. It's yeah. Buy the DVDs for Avatar: The Last Airbender. You can get honestly, there's a decent. I see them every time I go into Target and Walmart or whatever. I see usually a Legend of Korra box set and an Avatar: The Last Airbender box set. Buy the box set for Avatar: The Last Airbender. I swear to God, it's a really, really good show. Season 1 starts out a little bit rough because it doesn't know what it wants to be yet. It's trying to be a little bit slapstick humor-y for the kids, making it clean for the kids. But once you get to midway through Season 1, it really starts to pick up, and Season 2 is like a masterpiece. Just buy it. Just buy it. Just buy it, Rainy Heart. Avatar: The Last Airbender is fantastic. You will not regret your purchase. Just buy it. Just buy it. Just buy it. Find a DVD and buy it. Real talk, do a stream where you talk about Avatar. Get behind that for 10 hours. Thought about it. Not a stream. Joey and I actually watched Season 1 of Avatar more than a year ago now. And we thought it would be fun to do discussion videos talking about each season, but that's just fallen by the wayside because there's never been enough time to film Kingdom Hearts 2, among other things. That's just sitting down to watch an entire season of a TV show and record, videos about it has been difficult. Our go-to relaxation thing, because we don't, whenever he comes over, he'll be here for hours, and we won't film the entire time because that's exhausting. So our go-to, when we stop for dinner or whatever, is we'll watch an episode or two of Community, because that's just a bit easier. It's not episodic week-to-week thing. Because when we watched The Last Airbender. When we watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, Book 1, Water, we watched it in 2 days. We watched 16 episodes in 1 day, and then next time we watched the last 4 episodes. It was a pretty crazy marathon, and we don't typically do that sort of thing, especially because we get to meet so rarely, and Let's Plays are so backed up in production that we don't have time to just hang out for a day and do wacky stuff like that. So. Last episode. I'm not going to read that, Dean. You're going to spoil things about Kingdom Hearts 2 for people who don't know. I'm not going to read that even to give off the implications. But yes, I was proud of myself for slipping that in there. I was proud of myself. Do what Best Guy Ever does with a Weeagawa, maybe. I seriously thought about that. So for those who are not aware, Best Guy Ever is a YouTuber. He did something a while ago called Mia Mafava. Now he does Weeagawa. Mia Mafava was an abbreviation for maybe, it was in the month of May, and it was maybe I'll make an effing video. And it was basically his production schedule. He made videos so rarely, he decided he's going to challenge himself to make 1 video a day for a month. And he pre-prepped stuff ahead of time to get ready, so he wasn't literally doing a 24-hour turnaround on every single video. But he did it. And I've seriously thought about doing something like that. And now he does Weeagawa, which is a weekly video, regardless of quality, just talking about something, making something. And I've seriously thought about doing that. I think that instead, for now, I'm going to just challenge myself to my 2 videos a week production schedule for the rest of the month. Even if they're not necessarily super high quality videos, but I'm not necessarily going to challenge myself to a consistent release schedule just yet, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. I've got so much other stuff to worry about right now that I can't make this my full-time thing. My story about the entire Kingdom Hearts story got Shade's best friends into the series. Wow. What a feat. What a feat of science. Someone says, I liked both the graphics video and the story and plot video for what it's worth. I appreciate it. That is worth a lot to me. I appreciate it. You warmed my heart a little bit there. Oh my gosh, chat keeps skipping, but it's because I'm so slow. I'm so slow. Man, there's so much. This is why I put the delay. If slow mode wasn't on, there's no way I could keep up with these. There are only 50 of you. There are only 53 of you right now, and I cannot move fast enough. It's partially because for every single one of these questions, I'm giving a 10-minute answer, but whatever. I had a feeling. Everybody was talking about Dean, and Dean Weiss is in the chat. I knew he would take advantage and make a joke. Well, thanks, guys. I'm flattered, as everybody is complimenting how Dean is the best X-Keeper. That's the name of their little coalition of Kingdom Hearts YouTubers, right? The Kingdom Hearts YouTubers Zaibatsu, the X-Keepers. I can't claim that I keep up with enough of them to know who is and is not an X-Keeper or what that group is, really. It's not somewhere that I spend a lot of my time. I don't need to go to them for any of my Kingdom Hearts news because I keep up with it myself. I want to be clear before I make fun of any of those guys. Number one, all of them are doing much better than I am, making a lot more money than I am, and are a lot more successful than I am. And I don't say that in a disparaging, sarcastic way. They're all very good YouTubers. They're good at what they do. And people enjoy their stuff, and I wouldn't disparage anybody for enjoying their stuff. I've met several people in real life who enjoy the content of people like the Gamers Joint and stuff because they're not like me, where they're not going on, IGN and Kotaku and wherever else, Eurogamer, Game Informer, whatever. They're not keeping up, right? They're not going on KH Insider and KH13.com. So it's nice for them to have one place that kind of aggregates everything together, even though a lot of people would say, including myself, that they will take one line from an interview and make a 10-minute non-scripted video about it. And as far as I'm concerned, I think that's kind of, it's bloating your content a little bit. Fact is, people watch that stuff, and it's a good source of information for a lot of people. So it's like, I ain't mad, is what I'm saying. I ain't mad. Did Joey play 999? Did Joey play 999? Because you can play it on PC. Joey hasn't played 999, but I've showed him the elevator scene, which we actually talk about in an upcoming episode of Kingdom Hearts. If I did 999, I think I'd want to play it with Aiden, because kind of our idea was that I would voice all the male characters and she would voice all the female characters. And I know it's available on PC, I know, but I don't want to play the PC version. Number one, because there's voice acting in the PC version. That kind of, like, there's no point for me in doing a visual novel if all the characters are voiced, because it's just like watching a movie, kind of. There's only so much commentary that can be contributed. But also the, not to sound super elitist, but, like, I really vastly prefer the DS version. The DS version has some really neat stuff in it. By the way, anybody who's not familiar with 999, Google nothing about it. If you want to go watch a playthrough of it online, a blind playthrough, go and do that. But don't look up anything about 999, because we might play it at some point, and you don't want to be spoiled on 999. 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. It is one of my favorite video games, period, full stop. I love 999 so much. And I would never dare to spoil anything about that game for anybody, except maybe the elevator scene. But anyway... there was a specific reason that I told Joey about the elevator scene that will be mentioned in this mysterious upcoming episode of Kingdom Hearts 2. We talk about the reason why I shared it with him. But yeah, just 999 does some very neat things with its presentation on the Nintendo DS with the 2 screens that the console and PC versions try to emulate, and it just doesn't. It's kind of awkward. It's not a big problem. The game is still awesome. Like, if that's the only way you have to experience it that way. But there's some really cool stuff it does on DS. I would prefer to record a DS or emulate a copy of it on a DS emulator and play it that way. But again, this is in the future. We've got like 6 Kingdom Hearts games to play. Watching Days off screen is probably the best, but you could also always emulate it to record it if you wanted to. I know, but it's also like, I know we could emulate it. I could figure out that whole setup and figure that out to do Days, but it's like, I could also just let Joey play it and save us a lot of production time, because Days is a long game, and I really don't want to record a Let's Play of it. I don't want to edit a Let's Play of it, and I think most people don't want to watch a Let's Play of it. We will do a robust discussion video and talk about all the stuff that you would want to hear us talk about. We don't need to play that game for 40 hours. That's just, no thank you. Glad you're streaming now that school is over, says James Euli? I don't know how to say that exactly. Euli. I'm not going to be streaming consistently. Don't expect this to be a regular thing. We're just kind of messing around a little bit. This was going to be a test stream to work out technical flaws, but for the most part, it seems like I got most of those squared away last night, and so we've just been talking now. We're just talking. We're just having a chat. We're just having a good old chat. Why did you start a second channel when you already had the Frustrated Jacob channel going? Because so there's a lot of... Hold on. Give me just a second. give me 1 second. Just a moment, everybody. I can't find it now. Oh well. Okay, so nobody knows exactly how YouTube's algorithms work. It's very mysterious. It makes sense. It's proprietary. They got to protect, their code and their algorithm is technically their intellectual property. Hold on. Now I'm getting a text message. Let me read this, make sure it isn't anything important. Okay, so here's the dealio, right? Nobody knows exactly how YouTube works, but there are a lot of people who make YouTube stuff professionally, and they're doing their best to kind of puzzle it all out, right? So you're probably familiar with a guy who goes by the screen name of Matt Pat, who does, the Game Theory channel and all that kind of stuff, right? Even if you don't like his stuff, don't check out just yet. I don't like a lot of his videos, but he knows what he's talking about. Like, he's a professional. He does this professionally. He consults with other people on developing content online. He knows what he's talking about. There's a video that he did a while ago when the whole dropped subs controversy was going on, where YouTubers were freaking out because supposedly people were being automatically unsubscribed from their channels. And there was a big conspiracy theory about YouTube trying to ruin YouTubers' lives or something. I don't... Anyway. One thing that there was a video that he did where it kind of broke down how they thought YouTube worked. And it makes sense. Because ultimately, YouTube's goal is to get you to watch more videos, to play more ads, right? Like, they want to make more money. This is how business works. This is no secret. YouTube wants you to watch videos to make more money. All right. So let's say you're subscribed to 10 channels, right? Probably subscribed to more than that. But let's say you're subscribed to 10 channels. I'm not subscribed to anybody, just for reference. I don't subscribe to people typically. I'll just check the people I want to check of my own manual volition, which may not be the best way to do things, but that's how I typically do it. Anyway, so the way that he was talking about it was basically, so you've got a sub box that you get emails basically saying these are people who have uploaded videos, right? Okay, let's say you subscribe to someone because they made one video that you liked, right? So let's say you subscribe to me hypothetically because I made the Zelda Towers video that I did a while ago, right? I haven't made anything else about Zelda since then. I don't think I've even made any Nintendo related videos since then, which is something that I intend to remedy in the future. So let's say you subscribe to me because you saw a Zelda video that you really liked, but then nothing else on my channel comes out that you like, right? So YouTube is going to keep sending you links to my videos, but you're not going to click on them, right? Now, eventually, YouTube is going to say, we are wasting our time by putting this guy's content in front of this person if they're not going to click on it, right? This is showing up in a list of things, and we've sent them like 50 videos from this person. I know I haven't made that many videos, like, hypothetically. We've sent them 50 videos from this person that they're subscribed to, and they haven't watched anything. So what's the deal with that? So eventually, they might just stop sending you notifications because that's in their best interest, right? Like, if you're not watching this person, leave them subscribed, whatever, but stop sending them notifications because we're just wasting our time. Put stuff in front of them that they're actually going to watch. So, you can look at my numbers on views and stuff across a lot of things. My general view count on videos, not universally, but pretty consistently, goes down by a lot. Even though my subscribers have gone up on many things, my view count on a lot of videos has gone down substantially since I started doing so many Let's Plays. I guess not substantially, because there were only so many things I'd done before the Final Fantasy VII Let's Play, so that's not exactly fair. I forget everything that I just said. This is part of the trouble with streams, is I'll say stuff that I don't necessarily mean. Everything that I just said was false. I was thinking of something else. Here's the dealio, right? If I put out how long was the Kingdom Hearts 1 playthrough? The Kingdom Hearts 1 playthrough was 63 videos long, and the Final Fantasy VII playthrough was 68 videos long. Let's say that you don't watch any of those. You are here for trailer analysis videos or whatever the heck else I was doing at that time that you happen to care about. You never click on any of those. YouTube is gonna stop caring eventually. They're going to realize that you don't care about this channel. They're going to stop sending you notifications. And even if it doesn't work that way, because this is hypothetical, right? This is how we assume YouTube works based on some things that have happened. People have stopped receiving notifications about channels. We're making assumptions about how YouTube probably works. Even if it doesn't work that way. If you subscribe to me for a Zelda video or whatever, or for trailer analysis, and you get, 120 videos about stuff that you don't care about, maybe you'll unsubscribe from me, or you'll stop paying attention to notifications from me, right? So it's in my best, and this is why many people have second channels for gameplay, right? Because games take a long time to play. They take a lot of videos to make, and if you're like, even Let's Play channels, if they're doing multiple games at once, like some channels will be doing 3 playthroughs of a game at a time, right? And it's like, well, if you're not watching one of those, that's still like 70 videos that are going to appear in your feed that you don't care about. It's in your better interest, typically, to put that type of content on a second channel so the people who want it can find it and go there and they have it, but it's not clogging up your feed here. I admit that I've done a poor job of promoting the second channel, mostly because I've been too busy to do so. Like, it took me so much time just to get the videos ready for it, that making trailers and stuff for it just didn't really happen. Which is part of why the Aiden vs. Kingdom Hearts 2's opening sequence is on the main channel, because the links to research runs at the end. There's a couple other videos that are going to come out. Like, I have a significantly cut down. I took like the 30-minute conversation that Joey and I had about Sword Art Online during the car and anime special in Kingdom Hearts 2, and I cut that down to about, I want to say my last cut of it was like 17 minutes. And that's probably going to come out sometime in the near future. So I'm not going to turn the main channel into a highlight compilation channel, but there will be some stuff like that to help kind of promote the second channel. But anyway, point is, that's a big part of why gameplay's on another channel, because just like this channel isn't about that necessarily. Let's see. Just want to say, despite the crap that it may get, 358 Days Over 2 is one of my favorite Kingdom Hearts games. This is mostly due to me being 12 at the time. Got to admit, cried at the end. I shouldn't have started reading that until I read it in full, because I'm not going to talk about Days right now. Just because there are people in the chat who don't know, and I don't want to spoil anything. Yes, Days is, you're not wrong to like Days. There's a lot to like about Days, despite its problems. Yes, I know I'm far behind on chat, dude, okay? I started late reading chat anyway, and even with this delay, you guys are going fast. You do need to watch Gravity Falls, Gray Geiger. It's very good. Watch Gravity Falls. It's only 2 seasons. It's pretty short. It's a fun watch. How do I feel about the Kingdom Hearts 3 previews? We'll probably talk about that. I said earlier in the stream, we'll probably talk about Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff a little bit more in another stream. Just because I want to get into spoil, because there are people who don't know about Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff. They're behind on the series. I don't want to jump into that in detail. We'll look at some videos in detail and examine stuff more carefully later. Yes, Avatar: The Last Airbender is so good. My chat keeps jumping, and I'm losing my place. He's about halfway done with recording. Oh, yeah, with Kingdom Hearts 2. Yes, that's right. Joey just says, Sonic joke. Agreed, friend. Agreed. Good meme. Chop busted, fellow YouTuber. Chop busted. When the frick is Kingdom Hearts 3, somebody asks. Probably November. I saw some people, they didn't know. Okay, I don't want to sound insulting here. A lot of Kingdom Hearts fans don't know what they're talking about. I really don't want to sound insulting here, because like there are people who don't know anything about the video game industry, and that's fine, right? There's like, I'm too interested in the entertainment industry. There are a lot of Kingdom Hearts fans getting on their Kingdom Hearts forums, and they're talking about all this stuff, and they just don't know how marketing in the video game industry works. And there were people talking about like, dude, maybe they'll announce the release date on Friday and shadow drop it in June. They didn't say shadow drop because they don't know that term, but it's like, guys, calm down. That's not how this type of stuff works. You need months worth of big marketing push for something like this. People were citing like Fallout 4, and it's like, yeah, but even Fallout 4 got like 6 months. That wasn't a shadow drop, guys. It's not gonna happen. When is, hold on. So the other thing is Square Enix has a bunch of other big releases coming out this fall, which is people like were like, Square is doing a conference at E3 this year, and I was like, yeah, probably, because they've got a lot of stuff coming out this year. Especially, so we found out recently that Sony's press conference is going to be really weird this year. They're only going to be focusing on 4 games. They're going to be doing, quote, deep dives into 4 upcoming games. They're doing Last of Us 2, because obviously, Ghosts of Tsushima, Ghosts of whatever that Japanese island is called, the name of which I will mispronounce. Gosh, what else was it? Days Gone and Spider-Man. So their main conference is just going to be focusing on those 4 games, which they only announced that recently. But if I'd known that before, I would have definitely known there was going to be a Square Enix conference, because that means there's no room on their stage for any of their stuff. And it's not like, yes, Final Fantasy 15 did show up on Xbox's stage, but like they're not going to do their main showcase of KH3 or Dragon Quest 11 on the Xbox. Like they can't, right? They have to have their own show this year. It's necessary. But yeah. So Shadow of the Tomb Raider is coming out in September, right? Shadow of the Tomb Raider and Dragon Quest 11, I mean, and I think Dragon Quest Builders 2 are all coming out in September. Like I forget exactly, but like their release schedule is stacked for September. Let me double check. No. I don't want most anticipated games. I want release schedules, you guys. Come on. Hold on. Game Informer has a good list of what's coming out when so far. They have like a list that they update whenever we get release dates on things, right? Yeah, okay. So let's see. Come on. Yeah, and Octopath Traveler, even though that can obviously show up in a Nintendo Direct, they're probably going to talk about that on their own stage as well. Yeah, so like July and August are too soon for a major marketing campaign to kick off. So let's say hypothetically they could pull it off in September, right? Dragon Quest 11 and Shadow of the Tomb Raider are both coming out. So that's two other Square Enix releases that they won't want to contest. And also in that month we have the Spyro HD trilogy and Marvel's Spider-Man on PS4. That is a stacked month. That is a lot to compete with. And then in October, Red Dead 2 and Black Ops 4. While not necessarily hitting the same demographics, still really big releases. November and December, much more likely for Kingdom Hearts 3. So when the frick is Kingdom Hearts 3? November or December, most likely. I would not watch a playthrough of Days, says Kevin C. Exactly. Look, I like a lot of things about Days, guys, but like it is long and it is boring. My metaphor for Days, and don't take this the wrong way, is it is a 40-hour version of Office Space as written by Tommy Wiseau. I like Days, but that is an accurate description. I came up with that a while ago. I might use it in a video at some point because I was very tickled with myself. Not to be self-congratulatory, but I was happy with that. Yeah, Kevin C. I'm not watching a playthrough of Days. Last one I watched was Nico Bees, and I'm not watching one again. That is fair. Days is a lot. Oh. Sorry, James. Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't recognize your last name, and I apologize. But I try to keep my general geographic location under wraps. So sorry about that. Couldn't bring myself to play Days, let alone watch someone play it, to be honest. Were people question the nature of your frustration? JP asks, were people question the nature of your frustration? I don't know. Do people question the nature of my frustration? I have some people. It's just a screen name. I should tell this story while we're here. Back in, what, probably 2011, 2010? When did Modern Warfare 2 come out? Modern Warfare 2 and Uncharted 2 both came out in 2011. 2009. Wow. That was silly. 2009 or so, I got my PlayStation 3. After I was starting to get big into video games around that time, I was, whatever. Needed a PlayStation Network name. Spent about an hour putting in every single username that I could think of or that I'd ever used before, and all of them got rejected. Finally, in a fit of desperation and frustration, I wrote frustrated_kid, mostly as a joke, because that was what I was at the time. PlayStation said, "This isn't taken. Do you want it?" I said, "It's been an hour. Yes." So my username on different stuff is frustrated_kid for the most part, and when I made this channel, I decided to make it Frustrated Jacob, because I lack originality and creativity. I don't even consider myself to be frustrated most of the time. If you watch the Kingdom Hearts playthroughs, as Joey or Aiden are going like, "Oh," I'm over here going, So, you know, I would say more often than not, my anger and rage turns into energy. Especially as time goes on. The farther I am from the initial inception of anger and rage, the more I become amused by it, typically. I don't know why I went back over there. I already got the information I wanted over there. I would only watch a day's playthrough if you did one, because you always manage to make stuff interesting with your humor. That is true, but we wouldn't make Days interesting. Days has got a lot of downtime, guys. Days has got a lot of slow padding downtime. The people at YouTube also don't know how their algorithm works. That's the power of machine learning. Have you ever thought, I'm going to save watching this YouTube video for when I eat? That's basically how I am with... Yes, all the time. All the time. That's basically how I am with the Kingdom Hearts 2 playthrough, which may be why I'm slightly behind on it. Absolutely. Like, that's, like... So people, like... There's lots of stuff where you'll say, like, I watched a playthrough because I didn't have time to play it myself, and people will say, what does that even mean? It's the same time investment, right? Well, number one, you can skip over some things. Like, you can skip over dead time if you want. And also, you can watch it whenever. You can listen to the audio while you're working on something else. You can watch it while you eat. It's how I've worked through a lot of longer games that I would not have had time to play otherwise. Yeah, the liberty of being able to choose how you consume it is always useful. So yes, Shade, I have done that, and I agree. Going to save the stream on the channel, yes. I said at the beginning that streams will be archived. I assume most of them will be. Anytime we do like a full gameplay stream, I imagine it will get archived to research runs, even though it will still broadcast here. And this stream and streams that aren't gameplay streams will probably get archived here on the research runs channel. I don't know. I don't anticipate streaming super frequently, so don't hold me to anything that I say on that subject. Oi, Jacob, I plan on changing my major to video production and film studies sometime soon. How's your journey been going to school in this field of study? I keep reading questions before I read them in my head, and then I'm committed to answering them. This is a question that would take too long. I'm not going to talk about my college experience right now, just because it's a long conversation. So I'll come back to it later. Don't worry, Camille, you may have missed an hour, but it will be archived, so you can watch it later. Also, you didn't miss much. We're not doing anything super exciting today. Jacob should call his fans the woke folk. Why? Why would you do that? Hold on. But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that? Why would you do that? Why would I call them the woke folk? I don't need names from the people that watch me. I don't have nearly enough fans to give you guys a cute pet name. You're all human beings who watch videos on YouTube. Good for you. Like, I don't need to... Anyway. God, chat keeps skipping down. You guys keep talking. Like, trying to catch up, but it's too slow. Hopefully you'll archive this because it's time for me to... Yep, it's all archived. Don't worry. Everything's going to be archived. Also, the SAO discussion was super fun to listen to, even though I've never watched the show and don't care about it. That was my hope. I hoped that it would be enjoyable, just because we were losing our minds. It was so much fun to record that. What was great was, so Aiden came over to record the session after that, or 2 sessions after that, and we had to get her caught up, because, like, while I've been uploading stuff for her to watch, because she's been watching the series as well, right, because she hasn't played it before. She watched our playthroughs of Kingdom Hearts 1 and Chain of Memories and wasn't in them. So she'd been watching the stuff for Kingdom Hearts 2 so that she would be caught up in anticipation of her being able to film with us at some point. But she hadn't had time to watch everything on the day we were going to record, so we were like fast forwarding, like, okay, here's the important story cutscenes and the things you need to know, and relevant discussions that we had that we might reference back to, right? But we skipped a lot of stuff for her to watch later. But we were just like, when she came over to film that day, we just spent like a couple hours getting her caught up on the necessary stuff. The only just for fun thing that we didn't skip was most of that episode. We watched most of the Car and Anime special, which was great because Joey hadn't watched it a second time either. I'd obviously watched it effectively like 6 times because I'd edited it and filmed it. But it was I wish that we had recorded us watching it because we had more discussions about Sword Art Online. We also discovered, if you go and look at the footage in that episode, when they're going through the store and they're gonna buy Kirito's lightsaber, the stats are on the thing, and it talks about like caliber and magazine size for a sword. It was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Please upload your college short films, says Jacob Catastrophe. At some point, I will upload some of the good ones. Maybe not to this channel. I might upload them to a third channel. Well, probably because like that one's that one will probably just be like Frustrated Jacob is a look at me, I'm a YouTuber, right? That one will probably be like a look at me, I'm a human being who is a professional and has made these things. Not to disparage YouTubers. You understand what I mean? Like, those short films are not being made to get me a career as a YouTuber. they're being made to hopefully get me a career as like a writer or an editor or something, because those are my primary fields of interest. I've discovered that I like pre and post production a lot more than I like actual production. I like being on set and working on set, but managing a set and managing all those people on a harsh time limit is pretty stressful, and I don't enjoy it. Oh yeah, Joey's been outed. Hi, Joey. Everybody go to Joey's channel. He has a really, really classy I should say multiple really classy unboxing videos of the special collector's edition of Persona 5. Joey Boom. You'll find him in the credits, folks. You'll find him in the chat, not the credits. You'll find him in the chat. Go to Joey Boom's channel. Watch his videos. He has wonderful videos. 98 Mr. 28. Oh gosh, does he use the 98 Mr. 28 name in those videos? I'm pretty sure he does. Anyway, Kingdom Hearts fans are a very stupid collective, says Bobcat. Come now. Let's not reduce ourselves to name calling and generalization. There are stupid people in any fandom. There are people who don't know what, and it's not even that, like, I think the people that I was talking about before, it's not even necessarily that I think that they're stupid at all. It's that I think there are a lot of people who play Kingdom Hearts and play other video games as well, but don't know a lot about there are plenty of people who watch everybody watches movies. Most people don't know anything about the movie industry outside of maybe like actor gossip and stuff, right? Like, so it's just certain bits of information that maybe not everybody absorbs into their brain, because they don't need it. You don't need to know about the game industry to enjoy games. In fact, you probably enjoy games a lot more if you don't know less about the game industry. Yeah, it's an October full. Yeah, clearly I'm way behind on this. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Joey's already left the chat. He's going to go do important things that definitely aren't playing Rainbow Six Siege. I'll catch you later. Yeah. You go do that, Joey. You go play your Siege. Now that I have PlayStation Plus, I'm seriously considering getting Rainbow Six Siege, because it looks like a lot of fun. I don't have people to play it with. I have Joey and a couple of other friends, but they already have a tight squad, I think. So maybe if they need a ringer, I could play with them a little bit. Dragon Quest 9/11, I mean. We all know Kingdom Hearts 3 is really coming out in March, says Dean. Oh, don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody about the spoilers. Don't tell anybody about the leaks, Dean. You hate Kingdom Hearts, Dean. What do you know? Don't you know, Dean? You hate Kingdom Hearts. The internet has told you so. You're not allowed to talk about Kingdom Hearts anymore, Dean Weiss. Grr. It's been out for 2 weeks. They just didn't tell anyone. You just dox your PSN, prepare for a flood of 58 people asking to be friends and getting a bunch of invites to Fortnite. Yeah, I know. As soon as I started doing this, like if I was gonna do any multiplayer streams, like people were gonna know. Like I filmed videos in Modern Warfare 2 ages ago to put out as a research ramble, and I just never got around to editing them. We did the Battlefront 2 beta stuff. That was one of the first things that came out on research runs, and my username is there for everybody to see. If people wanted to figure out my username on PSN, they could have figured it out a while ago. There's only 53 people watching this. That's only maybe like maximum 30 friend requests I have to fend off. Does Joey Boom not have unboxing videos anymore? Hold on a second. That doesn't sound right to me. Joey Boom should have unboxing videos. Somebody says it doesn't anymore, but that's not right at all. Hold on. Did he take those down? I'm going to reprimand him harshly if he took those videos down. Hold on just a second, everybody. I've got to find something. What the hell? Okay, there we go. Hold on a second, everybody. Hold on, everybody. Oh yeah, here they are, everybody. People say there's no unboxing videos on the Joey Boom channel. Talking about doxing my PSN. We're gonna dox, everybody go dox Joey right now. I'm putting something in the chat. There's a link to Joey's YouTube channel, everybody. Go check it out. You should go and watch his Persona 5 Collector's Edition epic unboxing videos. They're worth it. They're good videos. Persona 5 Collector's Edition unboxing and possible giveaway. Part 1, technically Part 0. Oh, those are great. I love those videos. I've been meaning to share them for a while, and I always forget. Okay, now that I put that in chat, I have to scroll back up and find where. Oh, actually, I'm almost caught up. I'm almost caught up with the stream. We're almost live, guys. This is almost a live stream. What a concept. What will they think of next? Technology these days, am I right, fellow gamers? I've been doing that with your KH2 playthrough. Probably 80% of the videos I've watched while at the gym, says Kenzie. I have been wondering how you were keeping up, because you seem like a busy bee. But you have been keeping up, which I'm impressed with. Shows dedication. I feel like there are probably better things you could do with your time, but I am flattered. Thoughts on BlazBlue Cross-Tag Battle? It features Ruby. I hate Ruby. I'm just kidding. I don't care. I don't know anything about BlazBlue, and I'm not a fighting game guy. I play a little Smash. I used to be I started to get good at Persona Arena after I did the playthrough of it, but that fell off. I'm just... If there's one genre of video gaming that I am very incapable of talking about, it's mostly fighting games. I've picked up a lot through osmosis because I watch the Super Best Friends and I listen to the Super Best Friend cast every now and then, and they love fighting games and talk about fighting games a lot, so I can understand conversations about fighting games, but I can't have them. But no, I know nothing about BlazBlue, and that Ruby comment was a jab, but I don't. I really, really wanted to like Ruby. I was very excited for it because I'm a big fan of Monty Oum and a big fan of Rooster Teeth, and that show is a complete train wreck. Volume 4 was shockingly good. It doesn't mean that it was good. It was shockingly good by the standards of what had come before it. Even like, I don't know, the fight scenes had been downgraded a lot, obviously, but like, it had a beginning and middle and end. Like, wow, what a concept, right? This will really push the meta of narrative. And then Volume 5 was like probably the worst one so far. It was a continuous series of glorified cafe scenes of people sitting around tables and talking with each other. I actually made a video about the first 2 episodes of Volume 5 that I just did not finish quickly enough because I was very busy with school at the time. I've considered releasing it in its mostly finished state, just with the preface of like, I wrote this right when the first 2 episodes came out, so please understand. And I also really wanted to make a video when the finale, I wanted to make a video like on the 3rd to last episode of Volume 5, because it was, and then it got worse from there. It was like shocking. The ending of Volume 5 was a travesty. I really wanted to do that and just didn't have time because I've been so busy. Maybe I'll talk about Ruby at some point. The thing is that like complaining about Ruby is a fool's errand because like it's not going to grow my viewership because Ruby fans will just get mad and nobody else cares enough to watch you complain about Ruby. So like, I still really want to see your playthrough of COD with Aiden. To be clear, COD 4, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. It still exists, and I might clean it up and put it out at some point, but it's just... It's a lot of work for something that I anticipate a lot of people wouldn't even watch to get that nice. We filmed a lot of things that have never come out. I'll talk about that again some other time, maybe. I just don't want to go into detail on that right now. I'm so close to catching up on chat. How close? Oh, actually, I'm really close. You know what? Maybe I will talk about that. Maybe I will talk about that for a second. So back in the day, when I really didn't know what I was going to be doing with YouTube, I knew I had started doing like the Final Fantasy 15 coverage and other things, and I was thinking about how to expand. And I was thinking about doing a series of videos that was basically just going to be like strictly comedy, heavily edited, sub 20-minute gameplay videos, right? That would have been with a variety of different main characters. Like I always would have been there as like a host, if you will. And I would have been getting people who don't play games to play games. I would have been getting people who only play certain types of games to play other types of games. So like one of the first things that I ever recorded was with Price and Joey. And it was what eventually became the first couple of parts of the Final Fantasy VII playthrough. It was meant to just be because neither of them were big JRPG guys at the time. Nowadays they are a little bit more, but at the time they weren't. So I thought it'd be fun. I mostly just wanted to get up through the wall market sequence, just because there's a lot of goofy shenanigans that happen before then, and it stops right before the game gets serious and you get into really serious spoiler territory. So I thought that might make for a funny video. The other thing we filmed that day was Counter-Strike Global Offensive, because they both play shooters. They both like Battlefield and a little bit of Call of Duty and all that kind of stuff, but Counter-Strike is a very different beast. And we played some Counter-Strike, and there were parts of that video that I think if we'd filmed it, if I was handed that today and had to edit it, I could cut that down into something really funny. But at the time, I was never really there was this joke, I don't know, should I cut it, should I not? And the video was always too long and always not quite funny enough. I probably could have cut it to something that would have been really satisfying and put it out, but now it's like, I'm still friends with Price, but like he's not on this channel anymore, really, and like there's no point in putting that video out. The point of this is that a lot of stuff was filmed at the time like that. Like there were some other people that I filmed stuff with that I went to high school with, some girls that I filmed some stuff with that some of it was funny. Like we filmed the video in like the browser version of Slender with two people that didn't really know what it was. They played some video games but weren't familiar with that, and that was funny. But it never came out. Played like Cat Lateral Damage. Played a couple of other things, just stuff that like it was. But the YouTube channel, everything in my head was going in a completely different direction, and I ultimately decided not to put any of it out because I felt like it wasn't a high enough quality. And by the time that I was like really thinking about it, things were moving in a different direction because like the Final Fantasy VII Goofy video turned into a Final Fantasy VII full Let's Play, and suddenly like everything just like switched directions. So it just didn't happen. And so like with Aiden, we filmed that Final Fantasy VII. Sorry, Aiden and I, the first thing we filmed like two or three summers ago at this point was a playthrough of Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, which is another one of my favorite games. Even if you're like, Call of Duty's schlock, that's fine, because most of them are. Call of Duty 4 is fantastic. It is such a good game. I could gush about it all day. But it was a poor choice for a first Let's Play for a couple of reasons. Number one, Aiden and I, while we were friends, obviously we'd been friends for a while, we had not established an on-screen rapport yet. Many of the early videos with Joey, like the front half of the entire Final Fantasy VII playthrough and the front half of the Kingdom Hearts 1 playthrough are really rough because we didn't know what we were doing yet. And similarly, even though I was a bit better at it, Aiden had never done it before, and throwing her into a fast-paced, even though I was playing it, throwing both of us into a fast-paced action game where there's no like text boxes that you wait to advance through or cutscenes that you watch because it's all in real time and characters are shouting at you while you're running around and shooting things. It was a poor pick for a first attempt at commentary, and there's a lot of complex geopolitical stuff and ideas going on in that game that it's not that it's super complicated. Like it's not like it's some kind of masterpiece thesis on world politics or whatever, but it was complicated enough that in the heat of me trying to give commentary while playing the game, I screwed up a lot of things that I didn't want to screw up. I just made a lot of erroneous statements. That's part of why I'm doing the whole note-taking thing with Kingdom Hearts 2, is so that, that doesn't happen again. That was part of that playthrough was a big part of what inspired research runs, was like, if there's a game that I know I want to say stuff about, write it all down ahead of time, so that when I get to the important points that I want to hit, I can hit them appropriately. And then take the footage from the playthrough and turn it into an essay. Part of the reason why the Shovel Knight video took me only 10 hours to produce was because all of the footage was there, because I'd just done the Let's Play of it with Aiden. So it was like, it was all there and collected, and I was good to go. And instead of with many of these video essays where I've had to go and record new footage or go and find stuff on YouTube that I needed, with this, it was all there. I had to get like 2 clips. I have like a clip of Shadow of the Colossus in there at one point. And I think that's the only thing that I pulled in there from outside. I could be mistaken. It's been, I was a week ago that I made that video, and I haven't watched it since then. I'm trying to give myself distance so I can return to it with a fresh pair of eyes and see if there's anything I want to change about it. Anyway, it's like the Final Fantasy, I keep saying that. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare playthrough may come out at some point, because basically it would just need to be tightened up a little bit. We're like, I want to take out some of our, there's points where we are just trying to make commentary and it's not good. So I would want to like kind of take some of that out, have more just downtime with the game, which means less commentary from us. And I would probably want to re-record some of my explanations of things. But that's just production time for something that I doubt a lot of people would want to watch. We also, Aiden and I, did a playthrough of, or a partial playthrough at least, of Undertale, which was a game that I thought about doing on the channel for a while, but the generally loud and toxic responses that follow that game everywhere it goes kind of dissuaded me, even though I think it's a really good game and I like it a lot and I find it very interesting. I may still take the footage from that playthrough and make a video about it, but just not the Let's Play. And part of the reason why that one will never come out is because it's just not entertaining. The game is entertaining, and me and Aiden doing the voices of the characters is entertaining, but outside of that, our commentary is meaningless, and we contribute nothing of significance, really. So, like, a highlights video of me doing a papyrus voice. Sans, all you do is sit all day and boondoggle. As for your work, put a bit more backbone into it. Like, doing that. Like, just putting out a 5-minute video of us doing silly voices, like, that would be all of the entertainment value from that unfinished Undertale playthrough. We're still gonna finish it just for fun because she's never played it before and she wants to see how it ends, but we're not gonna film it. We're just gonna play it for fun in hopefully a week. Hopefully we'll have time to sit down and do that, because she's also wrapping up her semester. Her semester goes on a little bit longer than mine. Several weeks longer than mine, technically. But yeah, so that's the story. The COD 4 playthrough is one of the many unreleased things. The Call of Duty 4 playthrough is the only one that I would ever, at this point, seriously consider releasing. But it's just such a back burner thing, because I think most people just don't care and wouldn't watch it. Because and granted, I know that the Research Runs channel had no subscribers on it, and nobody was there, but like nobody watched the Hitman playthrough, and nobody watched the Shovel Knight playthrough. Even as people started moving over for Kingdom Hearts 2 and Shovel Knight was concluding, like the viewership didn't really pick up on it. I think that at the very least, viewership on Research Runs is going to have to expand a lot, and I'm going to have to make more videos on the main channel that cover a wider diversity of topics to hopefully pull in more viewership that are concerned about things other than Square Enix games, before I can really start to diversify the Let's Play content a lot. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Just Call of Duty 4, I know that some people want to see that, and I'd like to put it out because I really like Call of Duty 4. It's a great game, but it's a back burner project. Back burner. Do you have any games that you or that others find conventionally bad that you unironically enjoy? Maybe it's like Sonic Adventure 2. I don't know. A lot. To be fair, a lot of my enjoyment of Sonic Adventure 2 is in fact ironic enjoyment. I mean, a lot of people think the Kingdom Hearts games are bad. Like, I like Kingdom Hearts 1 a lot. A lot of people think that game. A lot of Kingdom Hearts fans think that Kingdom Hearts 1 is bad, and I definitely unironically enjoy that game. I don't know. That's an interesting question. Let me come back to that. Games that people think that are conventionally considered to be bad, but that I unironically enjoy. I will come back to that. I'll come back to that question. Curious now, where do I find the SAO discussion? Yeah, other people have already answered that question, so I don't need to cover that. Okay, now we're almost caught up to the present. Sweet. No links in chat. You have been banned. Oh no, I banned myself. A world record for self-ban. Does Aiden have a channel too? No, she does not. Aiden does not have a channel. And Joey's channel is mostly just for funsies. Like, it's not a real channel, you know? He puts up stuff there every now and then for funsies. Ever gonna make the Persona 5 video that you took notes about for that one video? Yes! I would love to make Persona 5 videos, but, so, hold on just a second, ladies and gentlemen. So for those who don't know, Dean Weiss is referring to the first video that ever went up on Research Runs, which was video notes on Persona 5's UI design. Because the menus and UI design in Persona 5 are just fantastic. That Persona 5 is one of the most polished games that I've ever played. There's some performance issues, and like there's cut corners, like all of the NPCs, like they're just random people around the map, don't have faces, and there's pop-in in certain areas, but all of it is so consistent that it legitimately does become a stylistic choice. Like, as someone who's a film student, I see a lot of people where it's like they're showing their movie and somebody goes, why was that shot out of focus? And they're like, oh, it was a stylistic choice. And it's like, no, it wasn't. You just didn't set the focus right. But like with a lot of the stuff in Persona 5, you can tell it is an intentional stylistic choice. That game is so well put together and so consistent. Like, that is like the new peak of like just raw style in a video game. Persona 5. It will not be surmounted anytime soon, probably until Persona 6 comes out, because that game is just woof, something else. But the Persona 5 video that I did a while ago was me basically just for me to put together notes, because I was having a hard time writing the script about the game's UI. So basically what I did was I just pulled up because I'd recorded footage like last summer at this point. I recorded footage of all of the menus to potentially use in a video. And I was trying to write the script, but I was having difficulty. So what I did was I just recorded myself talking about it. I just opened up my QuickTime files of the menus and scrubbed through them and talked about anything that I found interesting in intricate detail, to then hypothetically take all that, condense it into written notes, to then turn into a scripted video, right? Problem with that was that I talked about a lot of stuff. And even as I tried to cut all of that down, kind of parse it out and make it something that, you know, made sense, that you could follow along with easily, it just was difficult. So I have a, where is it? Yeah, here we go. All right. You're not gonna be able to see this, I bet. Let me, hold on. This will likely help a little bit. Okay, yeah, that's mostly legible. All right, here we go. So yeah, so I like started color coding things just to try and make this a bit easier on myself. And it's just like, it's a lot. every single one of these is like borderline a bullet point, and it's a lot. And I started like, crossing stuff out, like, no, don't talk about this. This isn't worth it. This can go in another video. A lot of these colors are like, it would go in this section, but other ones are, this can be another, like, I basically decided I wasn't going to talk about the combat at all. I wasn't going to talk about the combat design just because it was too much to cover in one video. Yeah, that project got away from me. I intend to return to it, but I got burnt out on it, and it was becoming such a big thing that I needed to figure out how to compress it. So after I get some other videos done, I will return to that video sometime this summer. I have a couple of ideas for videos about Persona 5 that I really want to make. So there you go. So Dean, Persona 5 video will happen eventually. I left for 20 minutes, and he's now only almost caught up. That's correct. Look, okay, I'm not reading it and going, thank you. I'm reading it and going, let me explain for 20 minutes, all right? It takes a while. Like I said, there are only 53 of you, but you're very talkative, and you ask wonderful questions. I meant to ask you after the movie. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I still haven't seen this someone that I know in person. I still have not. I still haven't finished Blade Runner 2048. I've watched a lot of it online, and it's gorgeous, and I'd love to see the full thing. But I went to see it with a bunch of friends as college semester was wrapping up, to see some buddies, to hang out with them before everybody went their separate ways. Because a lot of my friends graduated this semester and are now lost in the wind to me. But I unfortunately had to, I went to go and watch Blade Runner with them, but they started really late because they went to go see Infinity War first. So they didn't start on Blade Runner for a while. So I only stuck around for the first hour because I had other stuff to do. My main stress at the end of the semester this time around was some of my classmates were producing their final movie, for graduation. When I say final movie, to be clear, it wasn't a feature film. You don't typically do that in film school. The movie was only 7 minutes long, but I was the head editor on it, which meant that I had to get a lot of stuff done, to hand off to other people to do color correction and stuff, right? So I had to be ahead of the game on that sort of stuff. Somebody's giving me a thumbs up from inside the real world. I'm giving him a thumbs up back. Yeah, right back at ya. You're a cool dude. It's not Joey because he's not here. He's playing Rainbow Six Siege somewhere else. It's another mysterious person. Someone said, Shade says, is my master plan working? But I don't know what maybe he's probably talking to somebody else in chat, not me. I don't know. I can't separate Ruby's MMD look from how good it might be. Honestly, dude, the show was probably better before they improved the visuals. It's a weird thing because Monty Oum, however you say his last name, who passed away unfortunately a couple of years ago, which was, God, that tore me up for a while. My Ground Zero, my How to Be Pro Ground Zeroes video was dedicated to him just because I wanted to do something, because even though I'd made it, I was working on it while he died, I just wanted to do something and I didn't have time to make anything else, because God, Monty Oum, big inspiration for me, love his stuff. But basically he just he taught himself how to animate, and he figured out his own workflow just in his own in his basement. And so even when he went to Rooster Teeth and started producing stuff for them, he didn't change his workflow really. He kept working in the programs that he was used to, even as his team got bigger. And so after he died, the team changed the workflow substantially to make things easier for the entire staff, which was, to be fair, probably a lot better because they were working in Poser, which isn't even meant as an animation program. Monty Oum was kind of crazy like that. But quite frankly, one of the main appeals of that show was his fight choreography and his fight animation. And in the 2 seasons since he died, there have been 2 good. No, that's not true. There have been 3 good fights. There was one fight in season 4 that can technically be broken up into 2 sections because it's one group of 4 people fights one guy, and that fight's okay. And then another character joins that group of 4 to fight the one guy, but they're across separate episodes, so I consider them to be separate scenes. Those are both pretty good. And then there's one scene from Volume 5 where Yang beats up a bunch of worthless thugs, and that fight scene was shockingly well done, considering how terrible all of the fights at the ending of the volume were. Holy crap. This Volume 5 of RWBY just really, really just... I dropped the series partway through Volume 4. That's fair. I'm not going to start talking about RWBY again, because clearly all this stuff was going on when I was talking about RWBY. If RWBY had a high point, it would be Volume 3, but after that, the look got better, but sadly, it's much more awkward pacing. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 1 is the best KH game. What? But people say it's very clunky and awkward. It doesn't. And it wasn't as. The story was so straightforward and simple, you guys. There was just a guy and a girl and another guy that they fought. How simple. How boring. I need conspiracy theories and twists that would make Tom Clancy just lose his mind. I need as much complexity as possible. Read something recently about Dream Drop Distance where they said, where the writing staff said that they intentionally tried to make the story as complex as possible. They don't know what they're doing. It's the wrong franchise. Like, even if you like, I'm not going to go on a whole rant. Even if you like how complex Kingdom Hearts is, because there are a lot of people who love how wacky and unpredictable and crazy the story of Kingdom Hearts is. And that's fine that they like that story. But it is the wrong story for this series. Because, like, I could never in good conscience recommend Kingdom Hearts 3 to anyone. The footage that came out today is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Look, Rapunzel world, Toy Story world. Look at all these exciting things that, like, I have some cousins, some young cousins who are starting to get into video games, so like Minecraft and stuff like that. And they love Rapunzel. They love Tangled. The Frozen will be in the game. They love Frozen. I would love to be able to recommend this game to them as like a gateway to, you know, bigger, realer game. But holy crap, I could never do that because they'd have to go through like 90 hours of other content to even begin to understand what's happening in that game. Like, I honestly feel sorry for Tetsuya Nomura because the guy has a lot of crazy ideas and he's on the wrong franchises. Like, you can see what he wants to do with Versus 13. Then they took him off that project and said, okay, go back to Kingdom Hearts and also here's the easy task of remaking one of the most popular games in history. You just go ahead and do that, Mr. Nomura. The guy must have a lot of like wild and unique ideas. The guy's got to have a lot of wild and unique ideas, but he just doesn't. Which one am I looking at here? I'll get to it eventually. I'll promise I'll get there. Here, take it back. I'll get to the bottom of the chat eventually. It's just like, I wish that he could get something else to do these crazy, wild conspiracy stories because they'd probably be really good and people would probably really enjoy them. But he's doing them in the wrong series because he's doing it with an incredibly bloated cast and a completely, like, the wrong tone that doesn't support, I keep saying he, as if Nomura is the only one doing this. Like, there's like 6 screenwriters who have worked on the series. That's the thing. I don't like calling out specific people for this kind of stuff because everything is a group effort and everybody works together on this kind of stuff. But it's just like, even if you like that stuff, it's in the wrong series. It's in the wrong franchise. It needs to be somewhere else. Did you hear that Nomura said that KH3 will have an ending that will be hard to accept? What do you think about that? Asks Natalie Hernandez. I don't know what to think of that. I don't think I haven't seen Infinity War yet, but I assume that a lot of people die. I'm skeptical as to how many main characters he's going to kill off. But, I mean, like he said that it will always be Sora's story, so like Sora can't die. And I mean, he can't very well kill off Donald and Goofy, no matter how hard he may try. But, like, I could accept, hypothetically, a Riku death. Like, I could probably handle that. I could accept that. I'd be like, I wish I could have seen more.
You're spoiled that Riku doesn't die in KH2.
Stop. I would like to see more, but I guess if he was gone forever, I could handle that. If they kill Kairi in Kingdom Hearts 3, unless they give her a substantial, like, honestly, there's no variation. No matter how much screen time she gets, she could be the main. They could pull a MGS2 and she could be the main character for the entire game. And if she died at the end, I would be very mad. I don't know. I don't know what to think of that. Kingdom Hearts 3 will have an ending that will be hard to accept. I don't know what to think of that. I really don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Thank you for the question, but I really don't know how to respond to it because it doesn't mean anything yet. I'm skeptical as to how far they can go with something like this. I just feel like, you know, they can't go really far in a lot of areas because they're working with characters that they can't go far with. I'd be fine with most of the expanded cast of that series getting whacked, honestly. I'm not saying that I want it, like, yes, please kill all of these people or whatever, but, like, I wouldn't be torn up if most of them died. Like great. Now we can get back to a smaller core cast that matters. I was about to talk about something else related to Kingdom Hearts 3, but I realized it's technically kind of a spoiler, so I won't talk about that. I was going to talk about how it handles Final Fantasy characters, but it's kind of getting into bigger picture franchise stuff that I don't want to talk about. Thank you for the question. I think he means that Mickey is going to take his mask off, and it was actually Walt Disney the whole time, and then he starts waving a banner that says Goku for Smash. He might be in the new one, guys. Goku might be in Smash 2018. You never know. We'll have to see. I wonder if they're going to nerf Bayonetta. That's one main thing I want to see. Is because surely this game will have all the base DLC. So will Cloud and Bayonetta get like a massive nerf in the new version? Which would also help to ensure that the Wii U version is obsolete to force competitive play to the Switch. Not that I think it'd be hard to convince most people to switch to the Switch for competitive play of Brawl, but I mean of Smash 18. But you get my point. If they put like much needed balance changes in this version and didn't patch the Wii U version, that would really help to push people onto the new system. I liked the Wii U. Needed a better name and better marketing, but it was a good little console with some good little games. I recorded a video a while ago, Rip Miiverse. Rambles, where I just got on at like midnight the night before Miiverse was going to shut down, and I screwed around with some Miiverse enabled games and inside the Miiverse and whatnot. That'll come out on research runs eventually. It's just I've been really busy. People are talking about gameplay for KH3, which I'm just going to skip over because we're not talking about that right now. Jacob, there are no fights at the end of Volume 5 of RWBY. Truer words have never been said, my friend. Razor X235. Truer words have never been said. There are no fights at the end of that volume. You're right. People start fighting and then the camera cuts away. That is correct. Somebody says, I don't care much for OP moves. They look cool, but I won't use the tower attack. So this is with regards to Kingdom Hearts 3 gameplay. Just very briefly. Don't want to talk about this a lot. So there's a great video by a fellow named Mydax, or something like that. I believe his username is Mydax. Yeah, Mydax. M-I-E, and then all caps D-A-X. He's got a couple of fantastic little videos. He did some reviews of the Sonic storybook games. He did a great video about Star Fox Zero. He's done two videos about Kingdom Hearts. One of them was Kingdom Hearts 2 Beyond the X Button, which was just breaking down the hidden depth of that game, if you will. And then he did one game about the situation commands in Birth by Sleep. And one thing that he talks about is the problem with them is they're very easy to acquire and stack, and they do massive damage to the point that most other strategies are rendered somewhat irrelevant, where really the only trick to the game is get to your situation commands as fast as possible and spam, right? Like, that's really the only thing, because they're all that matter, and you can get them very quickly. So I was concerned watching a lot of this Kingdom Hearts 3 gameplay with how fast the situation commands are appearing. But one thing that I noticed, observing them, was that the amount of damage output was actually very minimal. Like, if you look at some of the gameplay footage of him using the Rapunzel staff, cruising around in wisdom form and shooting people with magic, it does like standard melee damage, probably. I haven't done like a one-to-one comparison, but I just noticed that it was like, it looked like it would take about the same amount of time that he'd use to do like a standard string to kill a standard enemy. So I really think it's just a varied gameplay style, not super overpowered. I mean, we'll have to see more and test and find out, but it was, I don't know, I felt very positive upon seeing that it was not super extreme damage output. It doesn't look like it looks like those situation commands have been severely nerfed, which is a good thing. About the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3, I mean, a lot of people speculate that there will be, okay, let's see. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to try and skip past questions about Kingdom Hearts 3 too much. Kingdom Hearts 2 is the worst game, lol, says Queen Futaba. I don't think so, but that's fine. I understand why people think that. I don't think that's the case, but like that's the thing. I try to understand everybody's opinions on these subjects. Even if I disagree, I always think that there's a kernel of truth to these types of thoughts. So it's always important. It's always important to me to understand why. Like I really don't like Dream Drop Distance, as many people are aware, but I've done my best to understand why people do like it because that's the only way we can really learn and improve. I need time travel and dream sequences and 50 new Keyblade wielders and a prequel game on my phone to stay interested in KH. Hell yeah, Bobcat, I agree. That's what I signed on for. Do you think KH would be best if it started focusing on more serious Disney properties such as Marvel and Star Wars, etc.? See, the lore of Kingdom Hearts already sets this up where they can't really happen because, like, Kingdom Hearts is a spacefaring franchise wherein all the planets don't know about each other, right? So the idea of a galactic empire with thousands of planets involved and that all have space travel doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, I actually mentioned this in an episode of the Kingdom Hearts Super that came out recently. The way that you could get around this is, even with built into Star Wars lore, there is unknown space outside of the galaxy that people push out into sometimes. Like the First Order in the new movies, they went out and hidden out in deep space for a while and then came back with massive power amassed. In the KOTOR games, I believe, Revan and the dude with the tattoos whose name I forget, they went out into deep space to find the Star Forge. Gosh, I feel bad that I don't remember that character's name. Malik, thank you, stranger who's in the room with me. Darth Malik, the main antagonist of KOTOR. Look, Star Wars names are hard sometimes. Don't give me that look. Star Wars names are stupid and hard. Anyway, point being, I think that Star Wars could work in Kingdom Hearts if they built most of the plot around it. Now, I'm not saying that, suddenly, like, Emperor Palpatine or whatever has to be the main antagonist of the franchise. I'm saying that you have to build a story where they are one of the main antagonists, right? Like, where the plot is, oh no, the Empire or the First Order or whatever era you want to pick, though the correct... Whatever. Also, there's time travel in Kingdom Hearts. Screw it. You make new time travel. You have one character go off to prequel era or to original trilogy era, and then in the modern day, the original trilogy or the new trilogy is happening or whatever, right? And you get the best of both worlds. Why not? But anyway, point being, like, the way you would have to make it work is, like, the Empire is, like, pushing outward into the Kingdom Hearts verse, and they start conquering, like, worlds that Sora's unlocked, right? I think that the entire paths between worlds is a stupid plot point anyway that should, like, I wish they'd never written it into Kingdom Hearts 1 because it's so cumbersome now. Because, like, in that game it had significance, and ever since then they've basically done everything they can to avoid it with, like, Sora just finds magical, look, I found the magical Altoids container on Hollow Bastion World. It glimmered. Now we can go to Mulan World. Wonderful. And then, like, in Birth by Sleep, there's literally a scene where a character says, I have opened the lanes between the worlds, so go now. And it's like, oh, okay, you can just hit a button and do that. Whatever. So, like, if you were gonna remake Kingdom Hearts, I would drop the entire, like, barriers between worlds plot point, and it would just be like, do you have space travel? Then you can get around. And, like, the plot would be happening because space travel is starting to get more readily available, and because Ansem made a bunch of Heartless, right? Like, and Maleficent is leading an army. That's why, and we would get rid of the borders between worlds thing, because it's like, it's just too many problems that arise from that. What was I even talking about? Yeah. So Star Wars Empire would start pushing into the Kingdom Hearts galaxy or whatever, and, like, you would still have another plot about, like, the Master of Masters or whatever would be, like, working with Darth Vader or something, but point is, you'd have to make them a big part of the plot because they don't work otherwise. Like, you can't just have, like, I mean, you can, but it makes no sense. Like, you can't just have a Death Star world and then you're done with it, right? Like, that makes no sense, and it's not making good use of the property. Having a story where, like, a bunch of Kingdom Hearts worlds have been conquered and there's, like, stormtroopers marching around or whatever, like, that's the kind of schlocky crossover fun that I'm here for, man. That's the kind of stuff that's actually fun that I would want to see. Marvel, I don't know, comic book Marvel or movie Marvel, we'd have to see. I feel like that's easier to do because, like, Marvel is so malleable that you just like, oh, let's just pick a continuity where there is no Guardians of the Galaxy and Thanos space stuff, and it's just like one planet that's got the Avengers and Spider-Man and the X-Men on it or whatever, right? And we just do a story where there is no space travel on this world, really, you know? Like, it's that simple. And then you could have a world of Marvel stuff. You could have a world of heroes. Speaking of that Altoids box, I'm gonna have an Altoids. And I'm gonna step away for about 20 seconds, but I'll be right back. That was a briefer excursion than I thought it would be. I thought somebody actually needed something, and they didn't. They were punking me. Anyway, so yeah. I don't know if it, like, you know, would it work best? I don't know. It would be different, and you would have to use them appropriately to maximize their effectiveness, I think. Nomura should team up with Kojima. No, please don't do that to us. Don't do that to the world. I'm trying to fast forward through some of this stuff. Do I see Snake returning to Smash? No. Dude, Metal Gear's dead, dude. Metal Gear's done. Metal Gear's finished forever. At the very least, Snake is finished. Don't even get your hopes up. Snake is not coming back in Smash. Snake was only in Smash the first time around because Kojima liked Smash and wanted Snake to be in Smash. How many times can I say Smash in a sentence? Maybe the Hulk will be in Smash so he can smash on people's Smash. What about Mickey or Yen Sid death? No, they're not going to kill Mickey Mouse. What is your opinion on separation between author and work? Like, if someone makes something amazing but turns out to be a horrible person, I think hate the jerk, not the work, for the most part. As long as the work isn't emblematic of, you know, whatever their jerky qualities are. I don't know. I mean, like, I typically try to get along with people that I disagree with as best I can. Like, people can have really wildly differing political opinions from my own, and I still try to get along with them as best I can. Like, I mean, as long as you're not going around shooting people or you know, assaulting people, and you're not condoning that sort of behavior, I'll usually try and tolerate it. You know, it's the best way to be, is to get along with people, because the only way you'll ever find someone who's perfectly compatible, the only place you'll ever find someone who's perfectly compatible with your views is in the mirror. So you got to be open to other ideas, and even if you disagree with them, you got to be open to the people that carry those ideas. So I don't know. If somebody turns out to be a horrible person, I would be more skeptical about giving them money for their work, but I don't think it if their work has some kind of real deep artistic value that you don't want to be like, for example, The Cosby Show is a fantastic television show. I love The Cosby Show. At this point, Bill Cosby's probably going to prison, so probably his, like, you know, kids are going to get royalty money from that, or the network or whatever, right? I think The Cosby Show is a really good show with a lot of cultural significance and a lot of really good values and messages, and that I will probably drag my kids through that show one day if they will tolerate me putting them through that. And honestly, like, I don't know. Again, I was talking earlier in the stream about, like, mentally cordoning things off. Like, I can watch The Cosby Show. Not that I've watched it a lot since all this stuff happened with Bill Cosby. But I mean, I've seen a few episodes since then. I've watched it every now and then. I have the ability to mentally take the character of Cliff Huxtable and separate him from the man of Bill Cosby. I don't know. Like, again, I'm not like, and that is in no way me trying to justify anything that Bill Cosby did, because he's apparently a really gross weirdo who got away with a lot of really bad stuff and probably needs to be punished for it, and hopefully is going to be if recent developments are any indication. But my point is that while in many ways, yes, the show is now tainted, I don't think that it's been ruined or lost its value necessarily. I still think that it has extremely valuable lessons and depictions of certain types of characters, that exist and will continue to have value and will continue to have cultural significance regardless of him. I don't know, like some people like can't do that. They can't go back and watch something when they know that about the guy, but about, I'm not saying him specifically, but anything. Like sometimes, like a lot of people can't do, like after all the stuff about Kevin Spacey came out, a lot of people just can't do American Beauty anymore. Like they just can't watch that because it's too close to certain things. I don't know. Like it's honestly a really difficult thing. I think that once that stuff comes out, the perpetrators, the guilty parties, the bad people should not be rewarded for their work. But I do not necessarily think that it means that the work is suddenly devoid of value, I guess is the best way that I would put it. So like, I guess let me put it this way. If I could get numbers on how much money Bill Cosby was getting from, like, I don't know, Hulu views of the Cosby Show or DVD sales of the Cosby Show, if I found out that he was getting a cent, guess what? I'm pirating the Cosby Show like that, or I'm buying used DVDs or something, right? But like if it's, oh, he's in prison and he's not making any money off of it, then I'll probably continue to watch and enjoy the Cosby Show. Again, not saying that I'm sitting down every week to guzzle down a good marathon of the Cosby Show. I'm just using it as an easy go-to example. I want KOTOR 3 so bad, says JP. Not gonna have it, unfortunately. Dude, I wonder how much longer EA is gonna have the Star Wars license. I am excited for E3 this year for many reasons. But I also think EA is in the doghouse with a lot of gamers in general and Star Wars fans right now. And for the last 3 years, they've been talking about, look at all of our other studios making these exciting Star Wars games that we've seen nothing of, right? So we're not gonna see a new Battlefront announced. Maybe they'll talk about some DLC. But there are, like, even though Visceral's game got canned, they've got, like, 4 other studios working on Star Wars projects that we know nothing about. Guarantee you we'll see at least 2 of them this year, and I'm excited to see what they are. Doesn't necessarily mean that I'll play them and give EA money, relating to the conversation that we just had a moment ago, but I am excited to see. We'll find out. Dean says, wisely, I don't know why people consider Marvel or Star Wars more serious than regular animated Disney movies. They get pretty real. And it's just that KH treats them like dumb kids movies. It's a shame. He's right. Not all Disney movies. A lot of Disney movies are dumb kids films. But like Lilo and Stitch has just as much real human drama in it as any of the Marvel movies. The only thing that's really different is, like, you don't get into bigger ideas necessarily with Disney movies sometimes. They keep their philosophy simple, right? like the closest, like, so Marvel has The Winter Soldier, right? Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier, which is a fantastic movie that is, and part of why, so this is something I talk about, and so the story and plot video that I did a while ago, some people pointed out that I seem to disparage highbrow artsy movies a little bit, and that's not my intent at all. My intent is that if you make a movie that is accessible to mainstream audiences, that anybody can watch and enjoy, that also has a meaningful story slipped into it, then you can deliver the types of stories and meaning and emotional impact that that certain members of the audience might not get because they're not going to watch a Lost in Translation or, like, a Fight Club or what's another, like, pretentious quotation marks highbrow movie. I don't know, like The Seventh Seal. That was another one that I referenced in the video. I don't know why my list of references for pretentious art house movies is so small right now. But, like, The Winter Soldier is nobody would have, let me put it this way, nobody would have gone, General Joe Schmo would not go to see a movie about the NSA and the surveillance state and recent occurrences in the U.S. political climate, but a whole lot of those people went to go see The Winter Soldier. And while it's about S.H.I.E.L.D. and, like, secret Russian time-traveling assassins and a guy with a magical vibranium shield and giant helicarriers fighting over Washington, D.C., it is ultimately a movie about the meaning of liberty and freedom and security and the careful dance between a totalitarian, surveillance state and, like, the balance between security and freedom. You can never have absolute security and absolute freedom at the same time, right? Movie's about big ideas, but it's packaged in a schlocky action movie that just happens to be really well made. I got off track a little bit there. Looping it back around. The point is, I was gonna say that, like, you know, Disney movies might not necessarily get super that highbrow. Like Zootopia is something. Like, it's a real movie that's trying to say something. It has a message that it's trying to give off, and it's not like a straightforward linear social allegory, you know, where it's like, these are the black people and these are the white people, and this is a clear allegory for the current political climate in the United States. Because, like, Zootopia is more like a parable than a social allegory almost. You know, it doesn't have one-to-one reality connections, really. It's not trying to do that. It's just trying to make a general point about anybody can be anything if they really put their minds to it, and about, you know, our inherent biases and whatnot, right? But anyway, point being, yes, Dean is correct. People are like, oh, Kingdom Hearts shouldn't be dark and people shouldn't die because it's a Disney game. And I'm like, go back and watch some of those Disney movies and keep a tally of how many people die. Just do that. Just go watch a bunch of Disney movies and keep track of how many people die. Have you ever played a game called Legend of the Dragoon? No, I have not. Yeah, man, Cars 3 beats the MCU and Marvel combined. MCU and Marvel. Those are the same thing, my friend. It's the same thing. Haven't seen Cars 3 yet. I'm going to see that soon, though. I actually like the first Cars well enough. It's not exactly my favorite movie. It's low on the Pixar tier, but I like Cars fine. It's enjoyable. But I'm also a sucker for, like, that type of music and that type of setting, I guess. Like, I really like, you know, Route 66 kind of rustic American stuff. So it's, you know, that's my aesthetic, as the Tumblr people would say. It's not. It's one of many aesthetics that I enjoy. Even Cars 2. I liked Cars 2 better than Brave. Brave wasn't bad, but it was very bland. It was like it felt like it didn't have much of a color palette, really, right? Murata has this bright flaming red hair, and she spends the entire movie in a gray castle and a gray forest and one really interesting witch's house that is in one scene of the movie. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of Brave. It was fine, but it was like, I don't know, I saw that and Cars 2 around the same time, and Cars 2 is really dumb and not a very good movie, but it is so bright and colorful and creative. It's got all kinds of neat stuff going on. Like, there's a scene early in that movie where two cars get into a martial arts kung fu fight with each other. And it had real, honest-to-God, awesome action choreography and like James Bond, Rambo set-piece kills in it. And I was like, what movie am I watching right now? This is awesome. I haven't seen Cars 2 since then. I'm, again, not saying it's a good movie. But, like, I was like, you know what? Sure, fine. You know, Pixar, you guys have made a lot of art. You guys can blow things up for 90 minutes. That's fine. I'm losing all my cred by saying that I like Cars 2, I'm sure. But the point is that I've heard decent things about Cars 3 from people who didn't like Cars 1 and hated Cars 2, so I don't know, like, I'll watch Cars 3 eventually. Maybe I'll enjoy it. I don't know. I need to go back and watch Cars 2 at some point, because I just remember, like, it was bad. It was a bad movie, but I had a lot of fun watching it. What would be your ideal world to visit in KH3 that isn't announced? Personally, I'd love a Treasure Planet world, and while it involves space, a certain area in BVS involves space as well. Yes. I'll talk about that space from Birth by Sleep at some point in the future. Yeah, Treasure Planet is problematic for that reason, but again, you could solve it in the same way that you solve the Star Wars problem, where it's just like you fly far enough away from the rest of the Kingdom Hearts planets, where it's like you get to a big section where there are no paths, and like the whole gosh, what's it called? What do they call it? The fake made up version of space that they have in Treasure Planet. They have some fancy name for it. I'm going to check it because it's a cool name, and now I'm frustrated that I can't remember it. I think that was the first time I said frustrated in this stream. There you go. Hit your meme buttons, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's the Ethereum. Yes, the Ethereum. I got it. I nailed it without seeing it. I just had to think about it long enough. The Ethereum. Where it's like this magical version of space that you can breathe in space and you fly around on these ships and whatnot. I'd be totally fine with that. All you need to do is just have Sora fly far enough that he goes through some kind of like, big space shell. Boop. Now we're out in outer space outside of the rest of the Kingdom Hearts galaxy where the rules are different. And I'd be fine with that, right? Like, then I'd love to see Treasure Planet. But, I don't know. Some people say that the Kingdom Hearts worlds are like parsed off dimensions. So, like, as soon as you go into that one world from Birth by Sleep, you've technically entered an entire other galaxy. And I'm just like, come on, guys. This is one layer too much. One layer too much. I don't think they were thinking about it that hard when they made these games. Again, recall that at the beginning of Birth by Sleep, someone says, I pressed the magic button that opened all the paths between the worlds, so go now. I don't think they were thinking about it that hard. I don't think they were thinking about it that hard. Yeah, see, Star Wars and Marvel and a spin-off games might work better. Like, you could do like a, like, hypothetically, you could do, some kind of, like, DLC expansion pack, that involves a Star Wars world or something in a Kingdom Hearts game. Who knows? For Marvel stuff, they could use Big Hero 6 as their entry point. But yeah, but, like, the big problem with Marvel, going into Marvel, like if you pull from the MCU specifically, Infinity War just came out. And it's about a cosmic scale battle that involves everybody in this massive galaxy. So it's very difficult to just casually introduce that into Kingdom Hearts. In the same way that it's hard to casually introduce Star Wars, because it kind of shakes everything up. I'm almost at the bottom of the chat now. We're almost caught up.
Only took 4 hours.
Will Jacob ever change my hair significantly? Yes. I was actually going to get it cut very short just a couple weeks ago, but I literally haven't had time because I was so busy with school. Like, I fully intended to go do it before the end of school, and I just didn't have time. Then since school was done, I was working on YouTube videos because I had to cram to get this week's episode of Kingdom Hearts 2, episodes of the Kingdom Hearts 2 playthrough ready. I worked on the Shovel Knight video. I was working on the script for my Celeste video a decent amount. Had some other things that I needed to get done that were a bit more urgent than getting my hair cut. And then I was out of town for 2 days. So yeah, I'll probably get my hair cut this weekend, actually. Probably get it cut next couple of days. If not over the weekend, next week sometime. And it will be cut pretty short. So I guess look forward to that if that's important to you. Do you think they'll show Final Fantasy 16 at E3? No. Square has too much stuff going on right now. We'll be lucky if they'll probably show something for the Final Fantasy 7 remake. It's just they have too many things coming out right now. I feel like it would be a big mistake to draw attention away at the moment, but we'll see. It could happen, I guess. We'll see. Am I a fan of David Lynch? Not really. I haven't watched enough of his stuff to say if I am or not. I am familiar with him. Like, I've read a lot about him and about his stuff, but I haven't watched a lot of his work, so I can't offer a robust opinion on the works of David Lynch. What would I like to see from the next mainline Final Fantasy game? I think that I'm going to make a video about this at some point, hopefully, if I have time. So I'm not going to go into much detail about it. I think the Final Fantasy 16 should go by the colloquialism, the nickname of Final Fantasy 16-bit. And it should be a high-bit throwback game. Turn-based RPG with pixel art. It'll be like a slightly better-looking version of Chrono Trigger, essentially. I say this for a number of reasons, but I actually think it's a good financial decision because Final Fantasy 15 gained a lot of goodwill. While many fans were disappointed with it, it brought in a lot of new fans who really enjoyed the game and are probably going to be open to trying something new. The next Final Fantasy game that'll be big will probably take them a long time to develop, so they could supplement main series entries in the meantime by producing something that will only take like a year and a half or so to make, maybe less, and it'll be pretty cheap to do. But the big reason that I say that, again, you've got a lot of new fans that will be willing to try something new they might not try otherwise. But I know several people who are significantly older than me who have been playing video games since the NES days, right? They've been playing Final Fantasy since the NES days. But several of them have stopped. I have one friend of mine, again, significantly older friend, so maybe I shouldn't call him a friend. Perhaps I should call them a professor, because that's what they were at one point. She has not owned a video game console since the Wii, and she's not played a Final Fantasy game seriously since Final Fantasy X. But she will go back every summer to replay Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy VI because they are her favorite games. I have another friend who's almost 50, gaming her whole life, and she has not touched a Final Fantasy game since 10. She still plays video games. She loves Bioshock. Bioshock's like one of her favorite games ever. She still plays a lot of video games. She got a Switch recently. She's been working through Breath of the Wild. She hasn't touched a Final Fantasy since 10 because she feels like the series has gone in a direction she doesn't care about because it became so concerned with spectacle and special effects and big flashy cutscenes. And there are a lot of people who feel that way. If you took a year and a half to make a really basic but good looking and well-written pixel game that capitalized on the things that people used to like about the series in the NES and SNES days, and you made it available on literally everything, PC, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, 3DS, who cares, and most critically, iPhone and Android, and you sold it for $20 to $30, right? And you market it pretty intensively. You've got a lot of consumers who are going to be willing to give that a shot. You've got a lot of hardcore Final Fantasy fans who still keep up with the series who will definitely give it a shot. And you've got lapsed gamers and lapsed Final Fantasy fans who will say, finally, something that I can keep up with and something that is playing to my tastes and that I can play on my time with my cell phone that is right here, that I can play the type of game that I've been missing and want to play. I'm going to make a video about this because I think it'd be a really smart idea because you can put together a relatively small team to do this. You wouldn't use the Octopath Traveler visuals because that's too much and it probably wouldn't work on a phone. Like you would make something that looks slightly better than Chrono Trigger, basically. I think that would be very cheap to produce. It would sell like gangbusters, and it would win back a lot of goodwill from fans who may have disliked 15 or given up on the series in general for like 13 or 12 or 10, whatever. It would be a cheap project that would not really interfere with the production of the next big open world sandbox quadruple A game, right? Anyway, so yeah, that's what I think Final Fantasy 16 should be. That is what I would pitch if I could pitch it. I don't like. There's no story idea behind it, or aesthetic, or location. Just like the type of game that it should be. Am I doing anything tonight? Oh, how are you doing tonight? Okay, I was like, what am I doing anything tonight? I'm doing this. I'm fine. I feel fine. This has been fun. I think people are pissed off with how slow I'm being, but I don't know. I'm having a good time. We'll probably play some video games briefly in a little bit here. Not for long, but just to test out some stream stuff. Get volume levels set so that next time we do this, hypothetically, everything will work properly. Okay, so I'm not going to read this out loud because it's kind of a Kingdom Hearts 2 spoiler, but somebody asks about a mini game and specifically rhythm-based games. Considering there was a rhythm-based minigame in Kingdom Hearts 2, and then there was another one in Birth by Sleep, and there were even little hints of them in Dream Drop Distance, I feel extremely confident that there will be more rhythm minigame stuff in Kingdom Hearts 3, and I don't mean inside of the little LCD game thing. I think there will be outside separate rhythm minigames. So if you like that kind of stuff, I feel extremely confident that there will be more in Kingdom Hearts 3. Somebody asks how I feel about Tangled. I only watched it once in theaters. I liked it a lot. Like, I really, really liked it. And I just a while ago, because I was thinking about it because of Kingdom Hearts 3, I watched a lot of clips of it on YouTube just to kind of refresh my memory about it, and I remembered, oh yeah, I do still really like this movie. I need to watch it again. I enjoyed it quite a bit when it came out. I like it better than Frozen. Frozen I enjoyed a lot when it initially released. I went to go see, I felt like it was kind of an underdog movie, because I felt like nobody was talking about it, and I felt like Disney didn't have a lot of goodwill at the time. But I'd been hearing good things about it because I keep up with the entertainment industry, and I'd been hearing a lot of early buzz about this song by Idea Menzel, or however you say her name, that was probably a shoo-in for Best Song at the Oscars, and I was like, I'll go see this movie. It'll probably be fun. And I went and saw it and thought that it was pretty good. Like, distinctively, I remember thinking, like, this Olaf character is going to be the worst. and he wasn't. I was particularly impressed with the fact that they never recycled visual gags with him. Like within the last 10 minutes of the movie, there was another visual gag, and I was like a new snowman themed visual gag, and I was like, okay, they got me. They did it. They pulled it off. I also really like the moral of the story of Frozen. So like, I like a lot of classic Disney movies. I like Cinderella. I think it's a good movie. I think that Snow White is uneven. Not Snow White. I think that Sleeping Beauty is uneven. It has great art direction and a great villain, and it's got some good scenes, but it's very uneven. It needed a couple more drafts. But like, so I like those simple movies about following your dreams and falling in love or whatever. They're fun. They're nice movies. I like them. I appreciate the moral of Frozen for all of the young girls who saw it in the modern day of the 21st century, in the internet era. It had a wonderful moral for children, which is, if you think you've met Prince Charming, you are being catfished. And I adored that about it. And that, relationships and love are slow and take time, and they're not magical things that happen instantaneously. I thought that was great. I went and gushed about it to a lot of people when I was in high school at the time. Then a week later, it blew up and became the biggest movie in the world, and I blame myself, quite frankly. I wish that the Miyazaki film, when the Wind Rises, I wish that it had won Best Picture, but whatever. Yes, I guess I didn't talk about Tangled much. Tangled's good. I need to watch it again. Tangled's a fun movie, and I like it quite a bit. Who doesn't love Treasure Planet? People who didn't watch it, that's who. Treasure Planet's great. It's awesome. If Square does another big project reveal this year, that would be sort of dumb. The one big project that we don't know anything about that I imagine we could see something about is the Avengers project that Square and I believe Eidos Montreal are working on. Because they announced that, 3 years ago now? We've seen nothing about it since then. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something about that. But that's the only big unknown project that I could believably see them announcing or showing a lot of at E3 this year. Basically a high-budget Octopath for 16. No, lower budget than Octopath. Lower budget than Octopath for Final Fantasy 16. A lower-budget Octopath Traveler. A more basic, more retro, lower-budget, less production time Octopath Traveler. I want a cheaper game. I will sell you cheaper blades. It's Garfield, the Deals Warlock. I have the demo downloaded on my Switch, and I still haven't played it yet for Octopath Traveler. Somebody asked. I still haven't played the demo. I mean, at this point, I might not play it before the game comes out. My brother's going to get it because he's very excited for it. And I'm like, I'm sure it'll be fine, but I guess, I don't know. I have bigger fish to fry right now. I've been keeping up with Octopath Traveler, but I don't have, I haven't spared a lot of time and energy to be super enthused by it, I guess. Hey, check it out, guys. I caught up on the chat. Took care of it. That was easy. Only took me 2.5 hours. I'd say mission accomplished. What worlds from Kingdom Hearts 2 do you reckon they're going to leave out of Kingdom Hearts 3? Most of them. They only said there'd be one or two returning worlds, and one of them's already Olympus. Part of me just wishes Octopath was really Final Fantasy 16. Yeah, that's fair. They won't do that though because they're dumb and they think that they think that one of the pillars of the franchise is these incredible big budget technical blowouts when they haven't been that since the PS1 era really. I mean 10 was again watch my our good graphics killing good games video. They haven't really been that since Final Fantasy X, and ironically around the time of Final Fantasy X was when their hubris reached its maximum, and they made Spirits Within and made a whole movie company, and it tanked, and you'd think they would have learned their lesson from that, but apparently they didn't. Anyway, so what we're going to do now is, now that I've caught up on chat, and we've been doing this for 2.5 hours, we're going to play some video games, very briefly, not for long. I just want to, I haven't played any of the SAO games. I just want to test out some other settings here. So we're going to flip over to this and see if it works. Uh-oh. Hold on a second, ladies and gentlemen. Something has gone awry. Why aren't you working? Are you not wired up properly? Hold on. Because I tested all this earlier today, and it seems to be working properly. It seemed as if it was working properly, but now it doesn't seem to be working properly. Interesting. Let's just have a look here. We have the wrong resolution here. That could be the issue. I don't know why it would have reset itself, but occasionally these things like to reset their settings when you turn them off. No, it's set for 720. All the settings should be correct. What is wrong with you? What have you done? What have you done, video games? You worked before, but you don't work anymore. And it falters at the starting line. That's correct. It was working last night, I swear. I wasted a lot of time making all this work, and now it's not working anymore. It's not my fault. I fixed it. It's not my fault.
They told me to fix it.
Give me just a moment, everybody. We wasted a lot of time reading chat here, but this is technically what we're here to do. Even though I thought I got this all sorted out last night, but it's being persnickety. Likes to do that sometimes. Well, when in doubt, unplug it and retry. Always a good option is just unplugging it and trying it again. You'd be shocked by how frequently that works. Fact. Unplugging it and replugging it works much more frequently than hitting it. Did you know gaming? Did you know tech? Very strange indeed. I'm not sure what the problem is. I got it all sorted out last night. And now I don't know what's wrong. Yeah, capture card is receiving signal, so I'm not sure why OBS isn't. I'm sorry, everybody, but again, this is technically what we're here for, even though we just wasted 2 hours reading chat. This is actually what today is about. It became about something else, but this is what today was supposed to be about. Well, one option is just to create another version of this. Hold on, where are you? Yeah, let's see. One option is always just set it up again. Curious. I know this isn't terribly exciting, everybody, but unfortunately, this is what must be done. Hey, you know what? You know what's a good idea? After I read, apparently I got a super chat. My. You're the most interesting channel I've found in a long while. Keep up the amazing work. Thanks, man. Keep up the amazing comments. I don't know. Square has to be the luckiest company on the planet. They've been on the brink of shutting down so many times. I don't know. They've done fine for themselves for the most part. okay, I said we wasted a lot of time reading chat. I don't mean that to disparage any of you guys. I just mean that this was meant to be a test stream to get technical bugs ironed out, and I wound up devoting most of my time to trying to catch up to the chat. That's all I meant. Okay? It's been a wonderful time talking to you guys, and I hope that you've enjoyed it. I'm just saying. No, guys, I'm not doing a Roxas. I'm not going to destroy my computer. This is expensive. I don't have a ton of money. Perhaps if I get rid of this. Everything was functioning. It was functioning last night. It was functioning earlier today. Why? Why you gotta do me like this, huh? Here, you know what we're gonna do? Started out this stream by playing some of the Professor Layton soundtrack. We were playing the theme of Miracle Mask. Now we're gonna play the theme of Unwound Future, because that's, I don't know, all the main themes for Professor Layton are really good, but the Unwound Future theme is fantastic. So you know what? I'm gonna mute myself, and you guys are gonna get to listen to some pretty music. How about that? You guys will enjoy that, right? Hypothetically. All right. Still not fixed yet, but hey, you got to listen to some Professor Layton music. I'm going to play for you now. I'm going to play you more Professor Layton music because I like Professor Layton music a lot. We're going to listen to... what are we going to listen to? We're going to do the Last Spectre soundtrack. Last Spectre isn't the best game in the... It's probably my least favorite game in the series, but it still has good music.
From the start.
Yeah, you know what? Hold on just a second. Yeah, you come out. You come over here. Oh, wait, that won't work anyway, crud. I was going to try and put something up where you guys could see what tracks we're playing, but I just realized that that won't matter because I can't show that while I'm messing with settings for this, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, here's the Last Spectre soundtrack. We'll listen to this for a few minutes while I'm still trying to sort out technical difficulties. All right, I believe I've discovered the problem, but unfortunately it's a problem that I can't fix while we're still streaming. Because I think that when I was making some changes to the stream before we started broadcasting today, that the resolution settings got shuffled around a little bit, and it default started outputting at 1080. I wanted it to be outputting at 720 because I can only record games at 720. I do have a capture card that records at 1080, but it only records at 1080 and 60 frames per second if it's on interlaced, and we don't want that. I can only record at 1080 progressive at 23 frames per second, and even if you're playing a game that is technically running at 30 frames per second, or sorry, I can record 1080p at 30 frames per second, but the problem is that even if the game that the PlayStation 4 is running at sub 60, you have to, like, the system still thinks that it's outputting at 60 because that's like its main mode of business, if you will, right? So my capture card can't do 1080 60. Now if I could change so basically like all of the signals coming in, but this stream, OBS doesn't seem to be able to import the video footage if it's below 1080 right now, I think is the problem, because I had everything set for 720 last night, and I guess at some point as I was adjusting things today, I must have set it for 1080 on accident. So I would have to close down the entire stream and start a new one just to do a gameplay test, so we're not going to do that. I think we're just going to have to call it here in just a second. Probably going to have to call it here in a minute, just because I don't want to do two streams back-to-back. It's just that's things being sent out, two different archives, no need for that. Don't want to do it. So we'll probably do this again soon, because I got Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff to talk about that I'm sure you guys want to see, and we'll just open that one by doing a quick test of capture stuff, just to make sure that all works properly. It was working properly before in my original test, but not working anymore. Again, I assume because I assume that it's because my settings got changed around and the stream is 1080, not 720. I'll test it out in a minute here. I'll do an unlisted stream that you guys can't see, excuse me, just to make sure that it is those settings that are the problem. Let's look at chat really fast just to see if anybody had anything interesting to say before we sign off for the night. We lost a lot of viewership there, and that's absolutely fine because nothing was happening. I almost wanted to interrupt the music and say, hey, by the way, if you want to leave, totally understandable. I get it. This music is great, says Rainy Heart. Yeah, it is. Professor Layton is awesome. How am I just now hearing this soundtrack? This is amazing, says Dean Weiss. Hell yeah, it is. Read chat and I'll kiss you. Yeah, gimme gimme, says Josh. I appreciate it, but no need. Very flattering, but no need. Hey, Jacob, go watch Made in Abyss. Joey watched it. He liked it. I don't really have time right now. I don't watch a lot of anime. Layton has a criminally good OST. Yes, it is. Yes, it does. Never played Layton, but these songs just sound like what I would imagine a Layton soundtrack to be like. Yeah, the main themes are a little bit different from the rest of the game because they're very big and they're performed live, and a lot of the music in the first couple games isn't. It's all on a DS sound card. There's a lot of accordion in there, but there's also some accordion in those theme songs too. So it's stylistically consistent, but a lot of the music is much slower, more mellow piano music or kind of accordion environmental music. The Layton soundtracks have a wide variety of music, but I played some of the more exciting tracks for you there. Soundtrack makes me want to give the series a try. Mission accomplished. Play Layton, they're great. Jake, I'm making new Layton fans by the minute. That's correct. I am. You've discovered my secret objective. That track made me want to drink coffee while enjoying a bagel with cream cheese. Sure. More power to you, buddy. I'd probably be content just listening to the soundtrack. Go look it up online. Music's all online. It's great stuff. Good soundtracks in all the games. The first one has the weakest... The first one is the only one that has no live tracks. Almost everything is on the DS soundboard. Even the main Professor Layton theme, which is in there, which was performed live, it's still I think that version wasn't performed live. That's the most highly produced track in the original game, and even there it's pretty bit compressed. But by the time you get to the second game, all of the main themes are live renditions, and the end credits themes and a couple of other tracks are live. And then when you get to the 3DS games, it's all live, and the production... The music was all great even before the production value was necessarily there, but once you get to Miracle Mask and Azeran Legacy, the production value is just even improves the already fantastic soundtrack. Any thoughts on FF14? Never played it. Hear good things. Joey plays it. He'd be the one to ask about that, not me. That means we get another Jacob stream sometime soon. Hopefully. Like I said, I think I'm going to do one more of these this weekend. Talk about all this Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff. We'll go ahead and label it as like a, Kingdom Hearts 3 spoilers stream, get out in case anybody cares. But we'll talk about some of the stuff that's coming out of the event, right? Talk about some interesting things that are happening there. You're all done with work. That's great, Mackenzie. We're all done with the stream just in time. There's so many DS games that I want to play, but my eyes hate those tiny screens. Dang you, Jacob, for adding games to the list. Well, you know what? Sometimes you got to do crazy things for love. Also, just watch it on YouTube if you really want to. Like, at this point, none of those games, especially the original DS games, like, the developers aren't going to see any money from it because you're going to be selling, you're going to be buying used copies off of Amazon or whatever. So if you really don't want to buy them, then just, I think you should because they're fun games. But, you don't feel guilty about watching a Let's Play for the first 6 games. No, for the first 4 games in the series because the developers won't see a dime nowadays. The 3DS games... there's probably still a few copies floating around that they might see some money from, but the DS games you're only going to find used nowadays anyway, so if you're scared of the tiny screen, just watch it on YouTube where somebody blows it up for a big screen. These games DS only? I don't own a console, Nintendo or otherwise. Yeah, they're DS only. I was very excited when the Wii U started doing virtual console stuff for the DS, because I was hoping that they would put Layton on there because it was kind of a flagship game for the DS. They really pushed it because it was casual. It was somewhere between the casual market of the Brain Age games and the Nintendo games that were very casual and like the Brain Age puzzle solving stuff where it's just like do math. And it was like taking that kind of core casual concept of like a fun game that you can play in little spurts that's a bit more adult and mature than shooting things. And giving it the, game narrative and art and music and whatnot. Layton games are fantastic. And I thought that because of their reputation as big DS headliners, they might make the Wii U's DS Virtual Console, and they might make, Layton might make Smash. But neither of those things happened. Partially because the Wii U's Virtual Console for the DS stuff only started picking up as the Wii U was officially dead. So any hope for a solid DS library on that system died. Even though the second it was announced, I was like, great. DS Virtual Console games that I can play on console with HDMI. Let's go! And then they waited like 5 years to do it because Nintendo just got a Nintendo. Well, I guess I'm getting ready to close off. Good night. I'll try to make it to the next stream. There's something KH related that I've been meaning to show you, says Dean Weiss. Ooh, I'm excited, Dean. Bring it on, buddy. Oh, I guess I never showed you guys the Shovel Knight video. We could cap the 30 of you that are left. Do we cap off with the Shovel Knight video, or do we make it a nice hook for next time? You know what? Let's just go ahead and say that we're going to stream sometime Sunday afternoon, and if you come back for the Sunday afternoon stream, you'll get to see both a couple minutes of Uncharted 4 multiplayer gameplay, because why not, while I'm getting all that sorted out, and you'll get to see the Shovel Knight video early, before we talk about Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff. How about that? How about them apples? Yeah, that's a good idea. Now you've got extra incentive to come back next time. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mackenzie. This is just your luck. This is what happens to you sometimes. Don't worry, it's all going to be archived. You can watch it later if you want to. Yeah, I guess that's that, everybody. Hello, Lauren. You're just in time for the end. It just finished. We're done now. Yeah, I guess that's it, everybody. That was 3 hours longer than I thought it would be. I don't know. I thought we'd probably go for like an hour and a half or so. We went on for a while. I hope everybody enjoyed this. I know I was slow with chat. People at the very beginning were complaining about, why is slow mode on? Then it took me 2 hours to catch up with chat. That's why slow mode is on, ladies and gentlemen. We might adjust it later, who knows, but yeah, that was a lot. The maximum viewership on this was barely 53 people, and did not keep up well. Did not keep up well. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this. We'll have to do it again sometime. Oh, I guess I should, if I didn't mention previously, since we were talking about Layton, the art that you're seeing in the background here is actually art. Hold on, how do I adjust my fingers to? No, wrong way. Let's see. Okay, no, hold on. I want this one to go like that. Yeah, there we go. And I want this one to go like that. Okay, I need to go like. Crud! I didn't quite do it. Hold on, I'll figure this out. I want it to go like, I want this one to go like that. I want this one to go like, okay, here we go. Ready? That didn't really work. Whatever. Point is, this background art that you're seeing is actually art from a Professor Layton game. It's one of the environments from Miracle Mask, Stansbury. It's one of the towns you visit. I believe I said that at the beginning of the stream, but whatever. Anyway, since we were listening to Professor Layton music, don't worry, Lauren. It's all going to be archived. A proper upload of this will probably be available in a matter of, I don't know, if it's not up tonight, you'll be able to watch the archive of this stream tomorrow. So don't worry. If you missed it, or if you want to catch it again, it'll be available soon. Probably tomorrow. Sorry, probably this evening, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Depends on how long it takes for YouTube to process this thing. And if I look back at it and go, wait a second, I should edit that. Maybe I'll realize that there's something that I want to get rid of. Hopefully not. Hopefully we can just put this up and it's fine. I can't think of anything that I said during this where I'm like, darn, wish I hadn't said that on the record. There's a lot of good music in the Layton series, JP. You'll enjoy it. Have fun. Have fun with the Layton franchise soundtrack. No, not Sunday 2077. 2 days from now. This Sunday. March the 20th. That's correct, right? Yeah, March the 20th. Be there, be there, be there. It'll be lots of fun, everybody. We'll screw around and we'll talk about Kingdom Hearts 3 spoilers. If you want to do that. Otherwise, don't come if you don't want Kingdom Hearts 3 spoilers. You should tweet before you stream, get people prepared. I did that. I did that today. I told people on Twitter that I was going to stream. Here's the thing. This was the first one that I ever did, so I wasn't too concerned about people showing up. Like, I know you can schedule it and have, like, you know, event notifications that go out, like, whoever is going to start streaming in 24 hours or whatever. I'm just like, I'm not going to. For this, I didn't care, because this is a non-canonical test stream, remember? I didn't care. Though I did tweet about it. I said on Twitter, with the speech pattern of an Undertale character, I said, where is it? So I might, try live streaming, in a couple of hours, 4 question marks. If not today, definitely sometime this weekend, hopefully in a couple hours though. And then later I said, all right, I think I'm going to start this whole stream thing in about 15 minutes over on the main Frustrated Jacob channel. Be there, I guess, or don't. It'll probably be a disaster. Mostly, I'm just going to be trying to iron things out. That didn't happen. We mostly read chat, but that's fine. Not complaining. I think everybody who was here mostly enjoyed themselves. At least I'd like to hope so. But yeah, no, I have a Twitter. It's called Frustrated Jacob. Simple enough. @FrustratedJacob. Probably should have shortened it for Twitter handle purposes, but whatever. You should. You don't have to follow me on Twitter or whatever. I'm not going to ask you to do that, though. If you excuse me. If you're so inclined. No, the Dragon Quest 9, I mean 11 was fine. I wasn't saying anything offensive with that. I just said Dragon Quest 9. I mean Dragon Quest 11. You're putting words in my mouth, Shade. You're the one who's making me say shady, unpatriotic things. You're the one who's doing that, not me. Anyway, yeah. So no, I did tweet, but it was only like, this was a really impromptu thing. This was like, again, like I said, I was setting this up at like 2 o'clock in the morning just to fiddle around with it, and this was fiddling around with it. I will probably set up some kind of like event date for the next one, just because I want to see how it works. But I don't anticipate streaming frequently enough for this to really be like a main part of, you know, my output, I guess. So I'm not too concerned about if people join in or not. But yeah, no, I will make a better effort to promote myself in the future. I wasn't too concerned about promoting this. We were just here. We're all here having fun today. That's all. We're all here just hanging out, having fun together. Anyway, I guess that's about it, everybody. Farewell until next time, until Sunday afternoon sometime. Hopefully we'll start a bit earlier than we did today, because we started a bit late tonight, at least by my local time. And there are a couple people who are like going to bed, so, you know, yeah, we'll start maybe, let's say we're going to start somewhere between like noon and, I don't know. We'll start midday local time or something like that, right? Assuming, honestly, I say that, I don't know exactly what I'm doing on Sunday. I don't think I have much going on, but if something comes up, we'll change the time. Let's assume that we're going to start this like 6 hours earlier than we started it today. Let's just say that. Let's just get that out there. And we'll talk some Kingdom Hearts 3 spoilers and also watch a Shovel Knight video that I've made. It'll be an exciting time for everybody. Probably not, but we'll do it anyway. So goodbye, everybody. Until next time. Goodbye. Bye. Somebody shot a Nerf gun at me. That was completely inappropriate for the ending of a stream.